Welcome everyone to Lions and Crows, episode 13. I'm going to turn the audio on for everyone else now. They were a little uppity, so you can only hear me right now. But all right, they have speaking privileges again, like in TeamSpeak. Cool.
Still don't know what a TeamSpeak is.
I
Look in
showed
the
you a picture of
Discord.
it, which means you know.
For everyone gets in a room and talks all at once.
Oh yeah, that was actually pretty bad. Good times.
Times.
Thank you all for joining us. Goodbye.
Just times. Just times.
Oh, and I
Are
got
we
gifted a
live yet?
sub.
We are live yet.
Because you
Nan.
bluff so often, it's hard to know.
I usually don't bluff about going live. I usually bluff about going off the
Offline.
air.
Are you bluffing? About
To
bluffing?
Blave!
All right, well, welcome back, everybody. Lions and Crows, episode 13.46. We have a special episode coming up for you. Please stay tuned. But first, some announcements. These are updated as of, I don't know. There's no actual dates on there. But here's the channel updates. Mondays, there's a campaign called The Last Page at 7:30 p.m. Graced is a bi-weekly Wednesday campaign. Which week? Never know. Doesn't know if it's the next week or not. It says 7:30
Next
p.m. Maybe. It's not in black and white.
Snot.
Tastes like yogurt. It's not. So, Twitter has the updates for the new content for us, for them, for Roll20 Slam. YouTube for previous episodes. Check out our URL. It's amazing. We'd like to change that though, however. So subscribe. Did you subscribe on YouTube? I think you did.
Yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh, yeah, and that doesn't sound familiar. I believe it may be true. Check out rollislant.com for background. Also updated all the time, sometimes. It's info on our streams, character art, stuff like that. So we say thanks to the character arter person. The arter.
Thanks,
'cause you're
Arter!
arting.
You
When
did
you're
so
arting-
good.
A firefighter fight. So an arter does the art, and that's Kayla.
You're the best artery ever.
Sometimes it's Michaela, sometimes it's Kayla. It says on the announcements Kayla, but then over here it says Michaela, which is really
Both of them are my name.
sometimes. Roll20. Hey, thanks for the VTT and the Roll20 Spotlight program.
Thank you.
And Kevin McLeod for your music, which is royalty free, which we are as well. There's no royalty amongst us. So
I highlighted it. I was like,
you are not a princess, which is the title for my next book. So,
An autobiography.
it's just me telling people what they are and are not. It's a great book. It's based on my life. So yeah, I'm going to close this. Bloop.
You are reading this.
You are, or are you? Yeah, so we're gonna jump right in. There was a large bit of history that happened last game, something that maybe needs to be recapped, and I think who better to recap than our own Kayla Scott?
Oh, no, not tonight. I can't do it tonight. I'm
No.
sorry. Not tonight.
Well, why not?
It's
I,
just,
I will recap.
it will not
Who
be
better
good
to
tonight.
You are not Kayla.
Then
I
Holly.
am. You can just.
I will do the recap.
See how I told you what you want?
I
Did Holly
did see
want to
that.
recap? What?
If
It
we
would
let
be- I
Holly
don't know.
recap, she's just going to
I
hold
just
Make
say
still
make
stuff
it
up.
up.
Yeah, it's gonna be random fiction. Our fiction is specific, not random fiction. Go ahead there, Dora.
I don't know. I could be pretty random.
No, let
We
Dora
know.
spoke up first.
I did. So we faced off against the Crimson Guard, which are sometime allies, sometime rivals,
Frenemies, even.
perhaps. adventuring group that we
It
were
worked for
working
us.
together with for a while before there was a split over whether or not Maglin is literally of the devil or not. After our
Literally.
bag of holding had been stolen, we went back up the mountain to try to figure out what had happened to it, and in the process, were attacked by the Crimson Guard, who seemed extremely convinced that our cleric Tio had masterminded the violent murder of their druid, Arena,
How do we
who
know it
had
was
gone
violent?
to the Feywild in an attempt, or at his request, since he is looking for his wife, who has gone missing. And while she was there, she was apparently murdered, and they received her head in a box, and have
It's a head in a
decided to
box.
lay this murder at Tio's feet, and shockingly enough, are not super thrilled with us right now. But it's okay because we did beat them into unconsciousness, which I think is how you prove that you're right in any given argument. So we tied them up and decided to then negotiate with them from a position of power.
Did anything worthy of
play.
mentioning happen during these negotiations?
You know, it's a little bit up in the air right now. But we did manage to come to something of an agreement with Maglin, so that theoretically we are not immediately at odds with him. However, with a snowstorm rolling in, an imp revealed itself in order to let us know that it has been here for a very long time watching us. Its name is Emin Shaw, and it does work for Tiamat, which seems fine.
At least
I think
it
that's all
announced
good news.
itself, yeah. So yes, that's exactly where we left off, as the words "and I work for Tiamat" was uttered by the imp. There were a few things glazed over, like the
Donuts?
PvP portions of the
On a donut.
night. There
Well,
was
see, the
some
thing is that I did black those out from my memory, so I don't remember what actually happened.
great. We're just gonna strike that from the official history. We're gonna redact any kind of mention of it. So it still happened, but no one's gonna know. It's kinda like
Especially
that,
me.
so.
I can't-
Especially
unless I
those
go
who
back and watch.
cannot know based on their own memory issues.
Holly just
So.
wiped out because she got crushed. If she had won, she would remember.
Somebody's gloating about what they think they remember. But either way, we're gonna
One
jump
question.
right back on in.
How'd you do it?
How'd you do that thing I was there for?
So you got real grabby, and then you got hit by what's it called, like
Booming boom?
big old ground boom boom boom.
Shatter?
No, that's not even close to the level of power I wield twice per day.
Hold on, let's just scroll up. Oh, okay. Destructive wave.
That's
you
the
had
one.
to use destructive wave against me. Okay. fine.
Yeah, so you actually only had 5 hit points. I was just making a point.
It's such overkill.
It only did like 30 something damage. It's alright.
Half.
It did. How much did it do?
Regardless of saving throw, that spell was guaranteed to knock you on your focus based on the
It did 50
amount of
damage, Holly.
damage you
But
had
nice
taken.
try. Trying
Oh, whatever.
to, underplay my
You know,
abilities.
50 is only like
crush.
half my HP. Oh.
And as the howling wind starts picking up and the snow starts falling, coming in at this point sideways, because the storm is here. You've taken the best shelter in the area as you found earlier, but now you are in possession of this imp who gave himself up. Hello, I'm Emin Shaw.
Okay.
I work for Tiamat.
Why are you here?
Well, why are we all here? It's such a deep question.
I will grab it by the throat and hold it up against the wall. As if
Wait,
I want to rip it in half.
So,
Oh yes, send me back.
well, no. We're well aware that if we kill you here, you get sent back. You're perfectly fine. But What if we just tortured you endlessly and kept healing you up afterwards, so you were in great unimaginable pain for the rest of your life?
I can support the corruption of your souls by making you evil like that. It's
My
just a
souls are
small
long
sacrifice.
corrupted.
I could live your lifetime again through torture, but really it's such a small segment of my lifetime.
Right, but it is a segment of your life.
Or we could just, quickly reopen the portal to hell and kill it there.
Oh, yes, right. I've been there multiple times now and killed multiple of his brothers.
You
You
sure
went as
we're all
quickly.
from the same thing, are you?
Well, we can find out.
Yes,
Maybe,
do so. I
Okay.
dare you.
maybe we should drown this one.
Kick it to death. With our feet.
What was
Hello-
the other option?
Hello, he's like waving over at Maglin.
Friend of yours?
Maglin.
Is this yours?
This was your one.
Maglin goes, I have conversed with this one before.
Right.
what
Before or
manner?
after it said it was a Tiamat.
Well, you have to take everything it says with a grain of disbelief.
I should hope mini grains.
Okay,
Maybe
a
even two.
multi-grain bread of disbelief. What's
It's just there's taking things with a grain of disbelief, and then there's when something that's shaped like an imp shows up and says that it works for an evil god. That's something that I'm a little bit inclined to take at face value.
As am I.
I'm going to fill you in on something. All imps work for a genuinely evil god. It's their thing.
what's happening there? Just
It's like jazz for imps.
Is that the correct spelling?
you should be able to see its nameplate actually. I hope.
I do not.
Sorry, I got distracted by Gislin's typing. Maglin looks over at it and says, everything it says comes with enough truth to be worth listening to, and enough missing and omitted to be worth 0. So I don't know what it's here for now, but destroying it actually might not be the worst course of action. As glib as it may seem, such creatures do not reform instantly. It is a slow and, from what I understand, painful process that they would likely wish to avoid. You see him in-
Right.
the little imp's tail is like twitching at that point, but it just keeps this little grin there. Whether it's bluffing or not, it's hard to say.
It's probably a lot more fun for an imp to be here than it is back there. We could just kill it and move on.
I'd really like to circle back around to the part where there was an imp just kind of hanging out with Maglin for a while.
Well, I don't think it was hanging out as much as it was just following, you know.
And listening to everything that he said and did.
And declaring my undying loyalty to.
Oh.
It's like, just stop that. That's not true at all. I guess,
So
well, I
you-
declare
you-
it now.
So you made a deal
Again.
with the imp?
He made many deals with the imp, says the imp.
Or interesting.
And Maglin's like, did I research what I could and extract what I could? Yes. There was more than one conversation. That has nothing to do with what he's implying.
What did you give
And what
him
you're
in
buying,
return?
like fools, you're like, oh well, if this one says this imp says so, it must be true. Where's
I
this
do-
grains or multi-grains of salt?
I do not trust the imp. I do not
Good.
think
That
he's
is
here
a
to
good
help us.
starting point.
I don't trust Maglin. Or the imp.
Good,
Yeah,
that is a
here we-
good starting point.
Here we are, though.
Well, it's not like I'm not here to imp shame you. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
To be honest with you, I think the best thing we can do is kill the imp immediately and move on.
Excellent.
I would like to kill the imp.
You can do so.
Can you stand 10 feet away from me, please? No, I will use Silver Vein, I guess. I just attack it?
If you so wish to, yes, absolutely. You will hit the imp's armor class. So the imp's like, yes, yes, free me!
So it's a 10.
And the imp will likely have less hit points than that. I don't even think it's maximum possible rolled hit points. Or beyond that. Just in case, I am gonna look. It cannot.
I mean, Gislin hasn't killed anything that's
What's
small
this?
in a while,
What's this?
so
What's this second box in the damage? What's that
two-handed.
referring?
The first one's one-handed and two-handed. It's a long sword.
Oh, never mind. It certainly can have more hit points than that. So let's give it a shot, shall we?
I mean, I don't... If we want to get into this is the first round of combat, I can do other stuff. But,
You stab it, and it recoils, and its tail no longer twitches like a glib little imp, but rather like something that's just been stabbed. Hello.
Can we come to agreement that we can probably kick it to death within one round?
You can absolutely kick it to death. So, is there anyone stopping the actions of killing it? It's not quite dead yet.
Theo is standing solemnly.
Holly is unconscious. She has already been kicked to death. She could not intervene.
Holly's not unconscious.
Holly
Maybe.
tried to be friend of the imp, but enemy of the party. Holly could not respond to my
The
taunting.
one imp that has
Cut.
good fucking information, he immediately killed.
I genuinely do not understand why we are killing the imp. I'm just not willing to make a fight over it.
I mean, we
Okay.
can kill Maglin.
So,
He's
without-
not dead yet.
No.
Without enough protest, yes, a few slashes later, the imp disapparates and dies, or at least is gone.
Can I look at Maglin immediately to insight check him?
You may do so.
Okay.
Scanning.
This is what my cat likes to do. This is where
Hey.
I'm at.
I don't know if my little fix for Roll20 worked.
Just want
It
to
probably
stand
didn't.
It looked like it did.
on me because I'm leaned back. It doesn't look like that on cam, but I'm actually pretty leaned back.
Yeah, 12.
12. You look at his face. He looks immediately at yours, and you look and see somebody who's like, "Why are you looking?" That's the feeling. Like, what? Hi.
I'm not smiling in game.
What are you doing? Yeah. And so, besides an awkward locking of eye contact, you don't get any information from that.
Okay.
So, now that's been dealt with, we should move on to more important things.
Indeed. And Maglin agrees.
What are we as a party going to do about the current situation? Cadabra says, looking at Jesse.
I mean, she does have a point.
Jesse's
Jesse
not
has
the
feet.
only one unconscious. Is remember Celia is
that's right.
also,
Yeah, it's breaking my
And-
heart.
and even Arabeth is vastly damaged.
While I don't entirely condone Jessie's temperament, I do share all of her concerns. I'm willing to hold back on my action and judgment for the moment. However,
Excellent. Let's discuss them and put them to rest then.
we need to verify that what you're telling us is true, and likely you the same with Tio. That perhaps should be our first step towards a bit of trust building.
Agreed.
Is there a way for you to quickly rendezvous with somebody who can perhaps tease out the truth magically from someone?
A mediator.
Oh, I was thinking Jardine.
Jardine is notably missing and has been for.
Well, find him.
Let us scry on him and pull him here.
Please. I doubt you trust me to do it, right?
May I remind you, I have no more magical energy left.
You have magical energy?
Yes, and I have none of it.
Let's see. Is that always the case?
Just right now.
Hmm.
First time in a while.
Mhm.
If you're able to do it, pull him here, or we can do it in the morning when everybody is perhaps calmed a bit. There's a storm coming in, so we can't hike down the mountain today.
Oh, technically, this amazing conversation is happening at a yells, or at least a raised voice pitch, because the storm is here. um,
There is the important conversation on the fact that both Jesse and other party Jesse are going to wake up within 1d4 hours.
well,
Is that number you said?
1d4.
Is that 1 or 24?
1d4.
It's a D4.
It's an approximate amount of time.
No,
One-
1d4.
one-
1d4.
1 T4.
Oh, okay.
Usually,
1d4.
Is that like 14?
it's short. No,
It's 1 to 24, just in one
Sure.
word.
It's
Sometime in a day.
1 to 4.
Mhm.
It's actually Elven in origin. Sounds a lot better. Elvish.
The original
124. Excellent.
That's perfect.
That all being said, the easiest solution is to remove the adjutants. We can put Celia and Jesse elsewhere, yes?
I'm not sure how that helps us. I mean,
Where?
Jesse will quite literally eat Celia if we leave them alone together.
Not together.
I think
We see that Jesse will eat any plane of existence we put her in if
I think it's unwise to separate them from the group.
I mean,
Well,
Celia's
we
already
need-
run off once.
You had to knock down your own companion because of their instability.
Because
I
of
had to
your
knock
presence.
down your companion as well. You were
I agree. They both need to be removed.
so, if need be,
We
They-
bind them.
we'll
they
just
both
do it
need to
again.
they both need to be subdued until we have this conversation.
Yes, my fear, of course, is that they will
They
both
break free and
discard
kill us
any
during the night.
conversation that we have. They will not honor any kind of agreement we come to, and they will be like, "Well, I wasn't a part of it," etc., etc. Overreaction, stab, stab.
Well, until we give them the chance to do that, then we won't know. I think if you make some sort of peace offering to Jesse, and perhaps her to you as well, then maybe we can make this work. I don't know Cecilia. I don't really care about her at all. If we
It's
have to throw
Celia,
her,
but yes.
if we have to throw her against a tree and tie her up there and come back later, then so be it.
What do you propose? Again, I find myself at the disadvantage, so I'm assuming my suggestions will be discarded summarily.
Um,
Well, let's verify that at least what you're telling us is true with regards to certain things and go from there. If we find out you're lying, then this
Go
is
from
going to
there.
be a whole lot easier of a conversation.
Gio, I
Yes.
think while we were having the conversation, or maybe you weren't you identifying a certain sword? Or was I just
That
imagining this
sounds.
in
I
my
was-
brain?
I don't know what sword I'd be identifying.
So you look up and the snow hits you in the face.
Well, first things first, you should identify a sword. Find out if it's cursed.
We picked up the two
Right. That
evil
is what.
swords
Yeah, that's
from
what I was
them,
doing. Right.
which I had, which I will.
I do remember I was ritual casting that. Which probably has I've talked a couple times, so he'll just start again. Ritual cast and identify on one of the evil swords.
Yes.
Do we have access to all of them?
No, one of them was given away. We only have 2.
Okay. Which one should I identify? Either of them?
Tendril first.
Tendril. All right. And he'll start identifying Tendril again. I think he's gotten sidetracked.
Okay. Anything in between this identify and conversation? And then the identify will succeed. You will find it is a +1 sword with an enchantment. More correctly, 2 enchantments upon it. One suppressing whatever is also inside the sword, and the other one being just because it's a +1 sword.
Okay. Can I roll an Arcana to distinguish if that enchantment was suppressed in order to keep it like available but not active, or if it is too powerful to be removed completely and it's like that's the best they could do to keep it from hurting people?
You may roll your Arcana to understand
Okay.
the enchantment of suppression.
24.
Taking a look at the enchantment and thinking about how it was constructed and whatnot, it is clearly meant to separate the requirements of race on the sword by the spirit that lies inside. The spirit is now convinced that anyone that holds it is a worthy person.
Okay. And since I've attuned to one of these swords,
and suppression, so it does not convey any additional abilities, even though it may have in the past.
okay. What I was looking for is more like, is this sword like have the potential to still be evil intentionally by this enchantment laid on it, or is it innately evil and this enchantment is just working to keep it usable without
Correct.
needing
It's just usable, but it is
Okay.
absolutely a bad thing.
Okay, gotcha.
The evil.
Okay. I
It's
think I
got
understand.
inside.
Okay. Well, it still has all of the things that we encountered before, Gislin, but it is no longer bound by race to whoever should pick it up. It will deem anyone worthy. I don't know how that applies because we were able to hold it earlier, but
Yes, but you weren't able to let it go.
that's true.
Does it still sway influence over the wielder?
No, it doesn't bother.
So I think that means
The end. That's
Hey.
what you found. If you need more explanation, I can provide that for you.
they've been neutralized in a way, but not entirely. Obviously, they're still used for destruction, like we saw with Jessie and how she was injured by it.
I mean, they are weapons.
Right. That's the best I can do.
Well, it seems sufficient for now to you.
All right. Is that a little trust? Tiny bit. Little bit. Okay.
I don't know what similar extension we can offer, and Tio's motivations for requesting help of their late party member.
Theo seems as incompetent as usual. It's a very good disguise. It would be the perfect assassin or mastermind. To be honest, it's amazing, actually. But
I assure
in
you,
the
I have never been
case- yes,
stealthy in
yes,
my
yes,
life.
yes, of course, you assure me. And that's the thing, it's so easy to believe you. Look at you. Of course you're not stealthy. Of course this, of course that. And it's that assumption that allows for the possibility of amazing. So how do we How do we entertain the idea that you're not the mastermind? Beyond that,
You could spend a few days with him.
I have in a heart. You're all very, very you.
Charged.
So,
As if I remember correctly, you were also exceptionally you.
yes, but I am exceptional. That's a great way of putting it.
Are you sure
Individually,
exceptional?
individually, I outshine you all. That's unfortunate that my companions were a little less than
Your
reliable
companions
this
are
time.
worth 3 to 5 of you.
Maglin, remember, I did not once turn my bow upon you last time we fought.
Well, I also
I
did not.
spared you that mercy.
Also remember, I was not a giant
You
monkey.
spared me mercy. Hmm. Then what?
God,
What
if
was
you'd
that?
seen my great ape form, it would have been over in moments.
Well,
I would have been ripped.
Fine. Well, if the sword enchantment's any indication, it looks like I am working toward the correct thing. I will go ahead and assume that all of this effort is a good step forward to prove that TOA is exactly what TOA is, and not the mastermind that was presented before us. The evidence was compelling, if not horrifying.
What reason would I have to end Reina's life? What tell me what you've fathomed from this. I do not I cannot make the leap of logic.
Well, it's not that difficult, but for those who want to hear it that don't understand, here it is. You eliminate your competition.
Right, and so that's why we knocked all of you out and then tied you up and dragged you out of the storm and manifestly did not kill you.
Well,
Yes,
I don't think
so you-
I don't think he thinks that anymore, right?
I'm
Well-
relatively sure that you are not after being the heroes of the land to replace the Crimson Guard in the manner that was originally thought. However, it doesn't stop you from being reckless and dangerous.
We are that.
it's one
And
of our best
also-
qualities.
Yes, as he looks at Jesse. Beyond all that, of course, TOA is saying that, oh, I assure you, and oh, why would we, and we didn't this and we didn't that. But that's exactly what that creature that you just destroyed or sent back or wherever it is would do. It would dance. It would toy with its prey. It would try to manipulate and corrupt, confuse. Just, it's hard to discount such tactics.
Is this because I'm from Galtsea?
I
Just 'cause
didn't
I'm
know
black.
that, but yes, that's just say because of the region you're from, and not
Well,
your actions and the
There were
actual-
claims that people were being replaced by demons and devils where I was from. That's why I was forced to leave.
That was generations ago.
20 years ago.
Yes, 2 generations.
How did your people
What
lived 10
generation
years?
Depends on the race, I assume.
Goblin generations.
A generation of small dogs.
11 kobold generations ago. You know, the ones with the short legs, they only had like a 6-year lifespan. They were bred that way. It's really a shame the way they did that.
Oh, they have terrible back issues.
Yeah, it's really not ethical to.
All of that, that's fine. Where do we remain? Where do we stand? And how will you convince this unconscious lump of anger that maybe they shouldn't immediately step up and attack me and or yourselves based on your actions?
We can handle Jesse.
We can.
Islin can handle Jesse.
You keep
Gislin can.
that. You keep that part of your party in check, and I'm sure Jesse will be fine.
He looks over at Arabeth, who hasn't really said much, and She's just kind of leaning there, looking down at the snow collect at her feet. And he's like, "No, that one's never a problem." And Celia, if we don't get rid of her, or I don't think get rid of her is a bad term. You'll misunderstand what I mean. If we don't move her away, she's likely to be as emotionally unstable as usual.
Erebeth, what do you think?
Oh, good luck with that. Erebeth just looks up and says,
She's the Aurelia of our party. I'm just kidding.
"I fulfilled my oath.
It's
I
okay.
don't
We'll
owe
read this on our
anybody
Twitter
anything now."
later. Find out our true thoughts. Our Tumblr.
Yeah, does Erebeth have a MySpace?
Help, help, I'm being dragged by my party members again.
Now, Erebeth has responded. I don't know if you heard.
I did. I'm going to pull Jessie away from the heap in the middle of everyone that she is.
To drag her across the
make a little softer bed for her. And then sit down next to her. Then I'm going to drag Cecilia, whatever her name is.
I think it's just Celia.
Over to the other side, tie a rope around her, pick up Maglin's wrist, and then tie the other part of the rope around his wrist. That one's yours. This one's mine.
Okay. Can I have my implements back, please?
I don't know where they are.
Theo has them.
I do. I'm of the opinion that
He's just looking at you. Mm-hmm.
we will not act on anything this night. I must rest before I make any decisions. My mind is not clear.
If I can have an opinion,
Is this a
This would've
10-minute
been-
explanation just to say no?
I think we should give him his things back, personally.
Cadavers, I have no spells left.
Right, that's fine.
I cannot heal any one of you.
I do have spells
Like-
left.
I have my always handy spell, hit thing with stick.
Look,
Fuck, got all my spell slots.
I can cast arrow very, very many more times today.
look, the point is that we are either trusting him to not attack us, at which point we give him his things back, or we are not trusting him, at which point this all falls apart anyway.
Well, I'll give him his things back.
Excellent. And how is Macklin bound?
Well, I wasn't
No,
like tying
he's-
him up. I was like giving him the kid leash to
Okay.
Cecilia.
So I wasn't sure
Celia.
if you weren't just like,
Cece.
yeah, now here's your problem.
Cecil.
Yeah.
No, it was literally like
Like this.
tying it and then tying a little bow and then just
Here's your
being like,
problem. You're tied upside down to a tree.
so like
You
if
tie a stick to his back.
if she got up and ran away, his arm would go along with it.
Oh.
If we just save Macklin, we drag down the mountain.
He's a wizard. That's the cruelest thing you could have done.
Then, anything else besides trying to attempt a long rest in the biggest storm that you probably have ever experienced here up at the top of the mountain?
Davros will use his griffin for warmth and shelter.
It's gonna become the tauntaun. You have to cut it open.
I thought it smelled bad on the outside.
I would like to keep watch for the 4 hours that I'm not trancing, but wait, no, I'm not. Sorry, I forgot. I was thinking about Zahara. I'm playing a half elf, not a full elf. I can't. I don't trance.
Aurelia's been trancing this whole time.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it's not the kind of trance. There's glow sticks.
It's just mushrooms.
Oh, wow.
I will keep watch while I'm not trancing
Mushrooms.
too.
I will keep 2 hours of watch.
I will also do a watch.
Excellent. So, can I have Holly roll me a d4, please? A 3. So normally you would be out for 3 hours based on D&D mechanics. We discussed this briefly, but since it's another week and time goes by and things get forgotten, the DM said last week that we're going to make it around about a 10-minute unconscious state. So very quickly, you start coming to. And
Not
it's
like
only
it's such a
been
big-
like 3 minutes after Gislin has dragged you over to the other side. Where's we'll say Gislin here, so
Yeah, I was
Holly,
gonna go
you're going to be here, but you're underneath the ledge, not over the griffin. And at the same time, Celia is starting to rouse as well.
Mhm.
You find yourself with 1 hit point. Just one of these hands, hit points. That one. You have 1.
I hand you a good berry.
The
Bacon.
snow is coming
What?
down hard. The people you see even across the fire are slightly obscured, but still recognizable enough for you to say, Tioe is next to Maglin. Aurelia is next to Maglin. Celia lies in a heap between the 3 of them. Cadavers is off to the side, being like aloof.
What's a
And
loop?
sitting up against the wall. Oh, now there's hopping griffins and all kinds of things.
Is under the griffin.
Excellent. The griffin will
And kept
shiver.
warm like a wrinkled egg.
What? No, do not answer. That wasn't a question.
Don't like
That was
that.
just an expression of disgust.
Like a
actually.
wrinkled wet
Don't
egg.
don't further explain what that is.
Beth-
That's not what I asked
Bethany.
for.
Bethany,
up?
why?
No, why?
She
No more
said tonight
nasty
you all have
words
to suffer.
about that. The topic's gone. We don't want to know about that. Stop.
Tonight everyone suffers.
God.
So,
So,
instead of saying
Woke up and
bacon,
chose violence.
Kayla, by the way, we're gonna need me emote about that.
Oh, please.
And even
please, no,
Arabeth,
please.
who
Release
is just recently dead, if you may recall, but then we brought back to life. She's propped up against the wall, and her armor and large cloak is serving as her only real
When it becomes my
protection.
shift,
And the fire. There is a fire there, somewhat struggling to stay lit.
I know it's Jesse right now, but when it becomes my turn on my shift, can I insight check Arabeth?
You can do that. However, we do want to give Jesse every opportunity to start
Have free will.
commenting or weighing on in to the what has happened and why is people not destroyed, etc., etc.
Give her free will.
We're gonna let Jesse have a chance to Jesse.
perfect. Bacon! Berry. Shove it in my mouth. That's the way it happens. And then, like, Gislin, I had this dream. I had this dream that I was going to kill Maglin. And then all of a sudden, boom, I was on the ground. That's a crazy dream, right? Wait, where are we?
Yes.
Why is it snowing?
I mean, we're on the mountain. You've been here. You know, remember the frost giant and the dragon and the pool and the big metal dog and the
Where's my balloon?
what?
My balloon, my person balloon.
Oh, that's a temporary thing. He's over there, non-balloon.
Deflated.
So I didn't kill him?
No, we found out he was impotent and we took pity on him.
Well, I don't know what that means. You have to be more specific.
Largely ineffective.
Please don't.
Ineffective, as in he doesn't have powers.
Yes.
Well, that's great. So we can kill him in 2 seconds and this all be over with.
No. He doesn't deserve to die, at least not until he proves so. Which he is arguably on his way to doing. But, you know, we can't kill everything right away, things might have use to us. Right? You don't, buy a bunch of new cows for the ranch and then slaughter them all first day you get back, because
We don't kill our cows
exactly. We'll just think of him
unless they're really old, and then I get to practice my axe skills on them.
That's mortifying. Well, just think of Maglin as one of your cows for now. You have to take care of him, and when he gets old, you can slaughter him.
How old do you think he looks?
I don't know.
He's like 25 or 30 or something.
I find it hard to judge humans like that. He's 12?
12.
The full beard.
I-
And a fully developed ego.
Something young. So
Overdeveloped.
Still an adolescent?
Well, that means I got at least 3 more years before I can kill him.
Yes.
Yes, 15 is the age.
It's your 15th birthday. Gonna sharpen my axe.
The age of atonement.
We're hunkering down for the storm, so I suggest, regaining your strength as... I'm not sure
Well,
what's
I feel
gonna
as
happen.
ripe as a bacon on a grill.
Exactly. You might want to feel better than that.
No, that's a good thing.
Oh,
That means you're ready to eat. That means you're ready to go.
well, you're always ready to eat, Jesse.
Yes,
Jesse,
exactly.
also
I like my good
remembering-
berry. Can I have another?
1 hit point out of more than 100.
She's
You
got
are.
2 hit points now because she had a good
Oh,
berry.
I see.
In that case.
Then 2 hit points out of more than 100 means that you are more than 100 hit points missing. As plucky and full of energy as you seem to be, it turns out your body doesn't have all. You're like, it hurts. Everything hurts.
Is it night time?
Yes, Jesse, it's nighttime.
And you're gonna watch him?
Maglin leans over to you, Kayla, or I'm sorry, Tia, and says, "You may want to back up if Celia gets up."
I will.
First, you should do that first. I don't.
Tio stands up and backs up. About 10 feet.
Please do so.
You're gonna watch him? I'm gonna
gonna-
get some sleep.
I'm going to watch all of them, Jesse.
Actually,
Good.
well,
I trust you.
You can go underneath that ledge as well.
oh.
Now you're just
Sorry,
Tia's pacing around.
It occurs to me that maybe we should just take like a parenting solution to this and tie Celia to Tio and then tie Maglin to Jesse.
Wow.
So
I'm
they-
sorry, what parenting book does that come from?
The big shirt book.
How do lubes have their
Where
children?
you put both kids in a big shirt and they have to.
Have
My,
you never
my
had to do
favorite
that?
parenting tactic is when you tie your children together with 50 feet of hempen rope.
You
put them in
never
a
had to
shirt.
stand in a corner and
These
hold
are
your
adults.
sibling.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
that's
I
hilarious.
forgot.
I was only grounded when I did things against my family, not necessarily.
Now,
siblings.
Dorothea, we can tell you've been pre-depressed lately, so you're gonna stand in the corner and hug yourself until you
this?
feel better again.
See your left hand? We're gonna tie that
Tried
to your
everything
right
else
hand.
to fix it.
Oh
God.
no. You
Fantastic.
don't even know what siblings are, do you?
I don't.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
It's like a
I'm
kind
not.
of sauce.
Says the monk who had brothers and sisters in the order. But yeah. So-
Really, you can't say that.
Anything else? Jesse. Is Jesse gonna Jesse out? I don't know if there's lunging involved. Sometimes there is.
Right now, Jesse is just thinking about food and trust Gislin to watch Maglin until I'm at full capacity.
Ah, yes. So you're just biding your time. Excellent. So then,
Take my time.
Michaela,
Yes, that's
backing
my
away
name.
from.
I am backing away.
Tia backs away from Celia.
He
Celia
does.
does rouse and will look at her situation and just kind of inch a bit closer to the fire as she has been face down in the snow for a while now. and keep her head low. That whole. It's not like a Sith cloak, but it is like right.
Right on the line.
It's very grim, dark, edgy. There's just a lot of angst and anger coming from that, without any words being said. She's not taking action so much as just stewing in it. Anybody else have anything specific? And if not, Tia, you requested an insight check.
Yes, I did. Let's try this again.
Nailed it.
11.
I'm going to let the player determine how that didn't work. You're not sure. Arabeth is over there motionless almost. Luckily, Arabeth likely has the warmest situation with heavy plate mail on top of cold weather gear, or vice versa, maybe furs on top of the plate mail. But either way, doing well in the snow. Arabeth more detached than you remember. This whole conversation came and went, and Arabeth said 2 words. Well, like 4 or 5.
Was it Arabeth that was involved with Arena, or was it Celia?
Why did Celia was the
Think
one?
about it.
Okay.
It was likely Celia, because she's the berserker one about the whole
Right.
situation.
Okay.
And with that, the night goes by uncomfortably terrible. I need constitution checks to get a long rest in. Because the snow on top of a mountain with a broken ruin
Shoot.
as shelter isn't the best situation.
Listen, I'm
Save
under.
or
Favor check.
Constitution, save would be helpful for those who have that proficiency, so save.
Oh God.
What is the passing number?
The DC is, Dora, you expect what it is? It's 15.
No! Does that mean I have no spells?
It means that no long rest has occurred, and that I remain without the healing and without the
Okay.
rest and
what
whatnot.
about me? I made it.
Do I still benefit
Jesse,
from
you
the
may
effects?
hit the long rest button.
Yes.
Do I still benefit from the effects of a short rest?
Short rest does occur
For all of us or just Aurelia?
for everybody.
Okay. Oh gosh. I have literally no spells. I'm so sorry, you guys. Gosh.
Okay, full HP.
I think. Did I really not take any damage on that whole fight?
You
'Cause
were
I was
notably not very targeted.
I think I may. Yeah, because I think the only time I got targeted by anything, it was something where there was a save and I saved. There was a deck save and I saved on it, and so I didn't take any damage.
Indeed.
So does this mean though that we have taken a level of exhaustion?
It means you have not taken a level of exhaustion just yet, but it is interrupted the ability to long rest to the point where you're able to recoup energies. If you stay out in this environment, or if you get wet, there will be immediate exhaustion problems. Yeah, I think it's pretty rough. But because you were sheltered, I'm not going to imply, and you had a fire, which I'll say somehow you managed to keep going, and you're able to maintain the status quo, if not improve. And Jesse, however, sleeps like a baby. You will notice that Arabeth seems also well rested, but Celia and Maglin does not.
Oh, perfect. Just kidding.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And as the sun rises, as the snows continue to pelt down the area, the sun is coming in off on the horizon sideways for a little bit as the clouds don't push much further than the mountains themselves, almost getting caught. But soon as like maybe a half an hour goes by, dawn becomes dark again as the clouds have completely blocked out any kind of light. The snow still coming down relatively hard. Everyone is pretty much cold and miserable. How do you proceed?
I still have no magic. We need an outside mediator for any kind of truth spell.
I think we should get off this mountain.
I'd also like to get off the mountain.
I thought we were gonna do things on the mountain.
I've done a lot of things on this mountain.
A lot of things have been done on the mountain.
Does this
But
Maybe-
storm,
about
does this storm look like it's letting up at all?
It looks like it will likely continue to be snow in your eyes if you look upward. You can roll a nature check to see if it's diminished at all. We'll also accept survival. 26. Gislins, you're like, this will be probably finished suddenly around half day. Clouds will remain overcast, and we will have a partly cloudy situation going into tomorrow night.
The east and northeasterly winds.
The dew point is...
You're a walking almanac.
That's all it says
What-
in my backstory.
What CR creature is that?
Awakened Almanac. I think if we
Oh,
have
my
business here, perhaps we take a day off, make a little bit better shelter, bigger fire, just relax. The storm will end, or we can hike down to those caves.
Me and my party didn't come via cave, but happily go there.
I am able to
There-
carry people down the mountain with relative ease with Argus.
Can confirm. Just another thing to keep in mind. We saw ducks. Another thing
Me
to keep in
too.
mind is the fact that
That
There
you
i-
remember, Holly? Ducks!
Duckwind.
is that there
She
is
said it,
some
they're
sort
just-
there is some sort of force coming from the west.
Do you all know anything about that?
Yes, we all use the force. Go on.
This is news to me.
I use force every day. Would you like me to demonstrate?
Blunt.
Please
force. We haven't been around.
I can't imagine that that's something that's our problem, at least not yet. Like I said, if the storm will clear, we can see the watchtowers out there in the distance. They see it.
No-
They know it's
The
coming.
watchtower. The snowstorm, of course, does hurt that kind of visibility.
And if we saw it and we weren't specifically looking for it, I guarantee you whoever is the watchful eye of this city is going to make sure that Astad is not surprised. And if it is some sort of incursion force marching from Lord knows where, but so they can deal with it, or they'll be routed.
Wait. Is it the people who deal with it, these people?
Are you?
No, I think they were. There was some inference about them being dragonborn, right?
Only
Or am I
hearsay.
making that up?
You guys inferred they were everything from multiple squirrels in trench coats to the long
No-
lost
We-
returning
we weren't-
civilization of
No-
terracotta
nothing wasn't-
dragonborn.
no-
to-
Nothing was inferred. You were like, oh boy, I bet they're dragonborn. Can I tell based on the glint of the steel if it's dragonborn steel? And Tamara was like,
I don't know.
you gather that that steel is the same kind of steel that exists anywhere where steel is.
How are you word for wording this?
Because I just remember it.
So
The
it's so
sick-
stupid.
The sick, twisted logic that comes from you fucking crazy people.
Thanks, Bethany.
Am I inspired now?
Yes.
You're de-inspired.
You've been demoralized.
Minus
Like a
one
minus
inspiration. The
D4.
next time you get inspiration, you don't.
Oh. Next time you get inspired, you die.
It's like no. Next time you you make a roll, you have to roll a d8 and subtract it from the roll.
Mm-hmm.
Or odd numbers are subtracted, but even numbers are. So plan is to move toward the caves off the map. Is that correct?
Well,
think-
out of character, didn't you want to like bring Jardine here or something?
We can't. We don't have spells for it.
I have no spells, so we can wait another day, and risk not having another another night of non-sleep and then a point of exhaustion. And stay up here. Or I can.
I'd say we just camp out and go another day. Because I don't know, like, if we leave the mountain, I don't know what we're going to do. But if we're here, we can, actually make progress with the orb and the getting things. I say we get Jardine. Jardine makes it so that they trust you. And then after all that's done, we bring whatever his face is here, the evil guy.
And we all power friendship. Kill him.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. As an out of character thing, I don't want to make the rest of our campaign be just like sleeping, bringing next back out of this mountain, sleeping, bringing next back out of this mountain. I don't want to do that.
Me
right?
neither.
I would rather us struggle to find shit out for like 15 sessions and then find him in an alley and like just beat him with a brick
Destroy him.
than to just be like, okay, we bring bad guy number 17 onto the mountain.
Tiamat's next.
As you roll the 14 on your perception, you don't see who it is, but you do see a brick in the alley, and then it occurs to you who it might be.
That's how you
Ah!
predictive text.
That brick looks like a frog, and then you look up and it's Martin.
All right. Well, then we'll begin making our way back. I can find the way back to the caves because I've been there once and I'm good at that.
If you want assistance, I can help.
I need no assistance.
Okay.
I have a
I
background.
like how
feature.
excellent memory becomes total recall somehow. Excellent. Total. However,
It says you can always recall the general layout of
the
terrain.
general. You're like, there were 113 stones in between us.
Oh,
and-
1d4.
One,
No, I have no problem with you finding your way back to the caves. The paths that the dwarf took you down will
He's gone,
indeed
right?
bring you all the way to the cave entrance.
Oh shit!
Where
so
you
Lost a
then
bag.
have a potty break and take a shit.
Well, no, I mean, we lost a bag of holding, and I just remembered it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's nothing we can do about it at the moment. We don't know who took it. So it's gone.
And there it is. It is missing. Problem.
I mean, the only thing that was in there was money and 9 superfluous great axes.
And we
Not
had
9. They were very important, and I want them back, and I will kill whoever took them.
there were I think there were some potions in there. Like situational use potions.
Well, whatever.
Well, situationally, you've made it to the cave entrance.
We can just go to Durth, kill everyone, and take everything there.
Well, we don't
Just
know
start-
who
Die! Murder! You guys
we
had
don't
a
know who
tap.
took it.
I assume you're all half, like, were-rats by now because of that gang from back in
Yeah,
level 2.
yeah, probably all evil. Nuke the town from orbit. I will
You do
Again,
find the dwarf
I
about
can
5
bring
minutes
people down the
into the
mountain.
caves. He has a nice little fire going. He looks up surprised. Oh! You could have come back before the storm hit. You
No,
brought friends.
we were waylaid.
You guys look like hell.
Yes.
Except for her. She looks okay.
Yeah, they're not friends either.
She looks so good, she's blurred. Too beautiful.
It's hard to see you here in the
What do you mean?
cave.
What are we talking
You're a
about?
bit
I'm right here.
Undefined other. There you are. There you are.
Yeah, so you're just gonna focus on her.
I understand that my muscles are very blinding, but If you could look at me in the eyeballs, I'd appreciate it.
My eyes are fear.
That's
Look at me in
fine.
my eyeballs.
Miss who accused me of stealing earlier, but that's
I sure
great.
did. I did do that, and
You did.
because I'm not gonna deny it that I did that. I believe that I did. And I'm not gonna apologize.
No one expected that.
We're headed down the mountain.
For real
you're
this time.
you're gonna travel the whole way down, or are you just gonna take a day here in the caves?
Okay, just to back up for a second. Is it one of the gems in the bag of holding?
I think so. I was trying to remember.
Probably.
Gislin had the gem. I don't know
the
if she's
gem
got it
and
on
its
her.
fake gem are both in the bag of holding.
I thought we determined the opposite.
Because I had taken it to do it, but I never said I was
Right,
keeping
you
it.
never
So
gave it
by
to me purposefully.
by default, it goes in the bag of holding. It wasn't my intention, but I never declared it. So.
If I ever
Well, I
said,
mean,
and you drop
if
all
you
your
never-
belongings, include what's in your pocket, you'd be like, well, that's in the bag of holding. So, yes, everything does default to the
Yeah.
easiest method
Gotcha.
of carrying it.
Okay.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah. So
Without
also
statement
again,
otherwise,
we
which
have
is
no
great.
idea who took it and no way to. I mean, can we scry on a person who took the bag of holding?
I can do locate object when I have spells again.
It's 1,000
That's-
feet.
But it's
that's
within
fine.
1,000
Locate object
feet.
is really limited.
And you know what locate
But-
object does? It goes like this. It's that way.
Right, but if it's someone in the party, as in with this extended party,
It's
then
no
we
one
would
in
know
the
it's
it's
there.
no one in the party.
We know that for 100% sure.
We searched them.
We searched all of them,
So-
unless
Did we
Yeah,
search
but
them
like-
thoroughly?
The DM would like to know if you're actually traveling the rest of the day through the cave system. The dwarf will happily lead you.
How long
back
did it?
to where
Can we get to like the bottom in a day?
it takes a bit more than a day because the
Okay,
cave
so we're gonna
system
rest
isn't-
anyway during this.
It's not like an escalator where it goes directly where you want it to go. It's using all the natural caverns and whatnot, and old mines and et cetera, et cetera. So you're going to rest where?
I would say we keep traveling and just rest normally when we would traveling.
Okay.
I will
traveling
also.
the-
Sorry. I will also say that Tio is not afraid of Celia, but he is not stupid, so he will stay as far away from her as he can.
Celia hasn't said a word for hours. And Celia is just hanging her head and giving everyone like these really suspicious glances like,
Magnum.
that's about it. And then Maglin has taken the rope and holds it like, I guess I'm walking you. And Celia doesn't seem to try to bother with trying to undo it. Her binds remain the entire time. Arabeth, notably, is now walking apart from those two. And apart from anyone else, given the option. But I don't suppose you'll let her wander off either. So she'll stay within.
None of my goslings are allowed to
But-
wander off.
I'll be
You
a Tio
with a foot
protector.
of you.
If they're in front of us, I'll stand in front of Tio, and if they're behind us, I'll stand behind Tio to make sure that there's no backstabbing. Literally,
Well, one's in front and one's behind. So,
the one that
what are you-
wants to kill Tio, like whichever one.
well, one's in front and one's behind.
There's more than one that like.
That-
Celia
somehow-
is the one that she's talking about.
Okay, whichever that.
We
Well
continue
said.
down the
So,
mountain
whichever-
and rest naturally.
Tia was working with Jesse to make this happen.
There are no encounters here in the caverns, as the caverns are well known to this tracker. He avoids any kind of accidentally getting lost and maybe
Any kind of
finding what might be making homes in the deep underneath the mountain. Gollum, Gollum.
We were so close, Dora. We're so close. We could just.
We could run and we could join them.
And before a long rest is accrued, I would need those who did not get a good night's rest to make another Constitution saving throw to see if you end the day with a level of exhaustion, having just traveled an entire day. Tio, you're exhausted. You have 1 level of exhaustion. Gislin, you have 1 level of exhaustion.
Cadaverous has
3 levels of exhaustion.
1 level of exhaustion.
Oh no!
No,
Oh.
nope, you rolled double, so it's 2.
Oh.
And
That's awful.
Aurelia, you've made your save.
I don't use skills.
I will go ahead and give Maglin and, without a roll, Celia both 1 level of exhaustion, and Arabeth seems fine.
Well, she got a
Boundless energy of my youth.
sleep.
Was there any reaction to them like being informed of the movement to the west or from the west or the traveling?
Hours
Army.
ago, when you didn't mention that, you don't remember looking at them.
Okay.
Take that.
So the day goes by, a camp is set up, and a long rest occurs, which of course will get rid of any kind of
Oh,
conditions.
really? Thank you.
It was just an exercise of mechanics, making you all make your saving throws. However, indeed, a long rest will occur, and
We
all
have-
people.
Food and drink.
I always have food and drink.
You have food and drink, but do we have food and drink?
I had
Mikaela,
5 good
What?
berries left anyway, so that's
I want
enough
you to-
sustenance for 1.
I want you to never ask that question because it opens the Pandora's box of rations. Okay?
But then Tamara's like,
It's
"We have
like,
food and
does
drink
this make
anyway."
does this make me too heavy?
We're not going to be micromanaging encumbrance unless
See,
things
he's
are
a benevolent
ridiculous,
DM.
like,
I can ask.
oh, I
questions.
have 17,000
Battle.
large. Yeah, that would be an issue. However, we're not going to worry about ammunition unless it's magical. We're not going to worry about stuff like that. Rations are available. The dwarf has some food as well, as he never expects to go into the caves and things to go smoothly. So everybody has gotten a long rest. So now Celia is a little chatty. Come this next morning.
I wish.
Says, so you're innocent, are we? Innocent. Didn't have Arena executed.
I don't
And now
remember
we're
what
working
we've been
together
doing.
because of this amazing new friendship we've forged from your innocence, right? Yeah.
I'm glad you're on
Nothing
the
has
same
been
page.
proven.
as us.
Great.
Oh, she's
So,
picking this up really fast.
Can I be untied as a step of trust? Maybe get my equipment back?
I don't know. Are you planning on stabbing any of us again?
No, I promise I'm not.
Wonderful. Then she can say it in a circle of truth. Enos. Tio, I am certain you have had that prepared. Do you
I
not?
do. Is there anything else you wish me to have before we progress with the day?
Let's do all of this at once. Keep her tied up, drag her down the mountain. We'll find Jardine. And do this. You're clearly not sane.
Clearly,
I think that even if you
Upset.
are sane, yes, I think your emotions are getting the best of you, which I understand and relate to, and I think that it is for your own good that you remain in that state.
If you run off
Tied
in
up, I
these
mean.
caves, we're not going to be able to rescue you.
Celia shuts up. Makes no more of a peep.
Can we be friends? I like you.
Jesse said, chaos mode.
Celia doesn't seem to have much of a reaction to that and doesn't answer.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Jesse, don't instigate.
I'm not. I'm being
Jesse's
serious.
Jesse's pulling a Groost. If it breathes, it's a friend.
I feel her energy flowing through me like a druid feels. What does a druid
Go on.
feel?
Lots of things, including grief, and she is feeling grief right now.
And itchy.
need
They
to-
often feel itchy.
Hay fever,
Ivy.
all kinds of things. She
Sumac, you know.
she needs space.
She needs space like I need to hit something.
Yes.
Yes.
Which we can all do once we get off of this mountain.
So the rest of the day, this second day, you will make it back all the way to the base of the mountain from the internal paths leading you directly to Vin Caridin, the Dwarven mining city,
Get
home
our-
of Jardine. And also a very important storyline location, as you've discovered Deerbone here forever ago, the Under Mountain, the mountain underneath the mountain, the goblins that infested those like tubes, the labyrinth of tubes, lava tubes that were from an age past, the dwarves that have now since ejected those goblins and goblinoids, etc., etc. Lots of fun there, and additional archaeological finds, including one signed and checked out crown and crown bits. You are now making it all to town. The Dwarven Guard will likely stop you if you walk in with people on leashes. How would you like to proceed?
Oh, not just people. Those
Not-
people that work
Not
for us.
just people. People that are known to be in Jardine's party, as well as Jardine being a folk hero to these people. They will likely initially side with that which they know and think is good. So you guys have a few moments as you approach, and it occurs to you they're on a lead that may not go over well.
I think we gotta untie Celia.
And I don't even actually know if Arabeth is tied up at all, actually. I think
We
think
only
she
tied
was-
Celia
was
because
res,
she's a
yeah.
runner.
Well, yeah.
We let one of the Crimson Guard and one of our party go in. Collect Jardine, bring him back.
Why don't we just do this in the city?
Well,
You
We
know,
couldn't go to the
Magdalene
city.
says, I didn't realize we were coming all this way. If we go just a bit further, we could have absolutely threatened that imp with going back to hell. Damn shame.
What?
Yes, the portal is there. We could have just jaunted through and done that.
Oh,
but
That's right,
Jesse's
Jesse.
unaware of the imp. That's true.
There was Imp said it worked for Tiamat. It was being a bit like uppity, so we just killed it.
you'll get the next one, Jesse.
You will have the next one.
All right.
All right.
So, I don't know. Why don't we find a place around here and see if we can locate Jardine?
So you're keeping Celia tied up? Is that the idea?
I'll,
You're releasing her from her
I'll cut her
bonds?
free and just give her the look of, if you try anything, I will kill you harder than you can kill me.
In the face.
Because we still have, just as a point of clarification, we are not giving them back either of the two evil swords.
Understood.
Madeline has his wand or focus, whichever one he uses. I'm not
He
sure.
uses a rod because
Yeah.
it's
Rod.
regal.
Whatever we took from Maglin is back, and I don't know if we took every little like mundane item from the other ones, but
I don't think we did. I think it was just weapons and
Well, you'll notice that Arabeth is currently weaponless. She was really just wearing heavy armors, a large cloak, whatnot. At this point, actually, all she has is her armor and no cloak, having lost it somewhere along the way. you can find lots of places to inquire about Jardine, but where indeed? Looking down at the main street, it is bustling with dwarven activity. There are shops and dwarves making deals on the outside, like, oh, I can get you that ore for less than, blah, blah, you know, lots of conversations about the mining activity that's resumed. Lots of trinkets that are supposedly being sold as recovered from the Undermountain. These stones are good luck, etc., etc. You will find the tavern in which you shared a drink with Jardine at one point. You can locate the chapel he had worked at. I believe you had been there once to discover where he was at one point.
I mean, I guess I'm for the Crimson Guard finding their own person. We're happy to help.
So you choose that we go to separate, or will you just be following us?
Well, do you have a place for us to meet up? I mean, we know you want Tio, so you're going to come find us regardless. I don't see any need to look over your shoulder unless you think it'll help find Jardine.
It would not. Of course, it would be detrimental, but why don't we meet up at this first pub in, say, by the next meal? Whatever. Is it morning? No, it's late.
Which
by,
meal?
By morning.
First breakfast, second
go.
breakfast.
We will look this evening for Jardine.
Breakfast.
We'll meet there for breakfast. This isn't Halfling Town, so breakfast will last you for 3 days here.
I've never been to
dwarven
Halfling
breakfast.
Town. This is just Jesse rules.
We'll meet back here.
Unclear. Okay.
I can, now that I have my spells prepared again, I can send him a message if you'd like me to. But it's all in my mind, so it may not be helpful for you in the matter of trust.
Well, it would be helpful for us, so...
Magnus like, okay, you two then. We're off. Don't do anything stupid, Celia. Anyone.
Celia.
And he starts walking away. And Celia will kind of look at you, Tio, the entire walk away. Like,
I step in front of Tio.
Like but just the glaring disapproval and untrust. Clearly.
I step in front of Tio and I cross my arms across my chest and I come up to Tio's chin.
Yeah, and she just looks right over you and continues to glare at Tio.
I'll stand behind them and wave. Bye, friend.
Jesse.
And slowly, Arabeth will follow them. And
Give
eventually
us money.
Disappear into the crowd. What would the party like to do now that you're free of these fools?
All right, why didn't we kill them? I just don't get it.
Because you can't just kill people you don't like.
I
Some
agree.
dwarf walking by. That's true, you can't.
Thank you, random
I
passerby.
didn't ask you, Mr. Mrs. You.
See, at the end of the day,
Lizard kebabs.
Oh, I'll take one. Maybe two.
They're like 4 copper each, so we won't worry about it. You get some lizard kebabs.
we cannot just kill people of the kingdom because we want to.
Well, we weren't in the kingdom.
Doesn't
There's
matter.
still.
Actually, we were still in the kingdom. We were just on a mountain.
Yep, nobody would have known.
We would have.
They did.
I would have
They would
morally
have figured
known.
it out. They would have figured it out when the Crimson
I
was
would've
kind of
known.
important.
No, we
The
could
gods
just-
would have known.
It would have made me no better than whoever killed Arena. It would be the exact same.
It
Well,
would.
you
it
wouldn't
would-
have been
it would
doing
make-
it to you. It would
sort
have been
of.
me.
I'm not going to let you do that. Can
I
I have
don't
a
have
bit
no
of that?
problem with the god, huh? You want a
Can I
lizard
have
thing?
some of that? Can I have some of that, please?
Well, Tio, because you are my friend, I will share some of my food with you.
Thank
And I'll give you half of the kebab.
Thank you.
Half of one kebab.
That's a lot from you. I mean,
This is how much
Anyway,
you give me.
I'm not going to let you kill anyone without due cause. And although you may think we have due cause to kill them, I and the rest of the party disagree. So until we all reach consensus on that, it will not be happening.
All right, what does it take for me to convince you, and you that
Once
we
we
need to
figure
kill
out
one of
what has
them?
happened, once we figure out what has happened with
If he does something incredibly dangerous.
I think he's already done that.
Hold on. Well,
Think
what?
very
What is
carefully
he?
about
What
what
is
you're
he
about
doing?
to say, Cadavras.
I think that if somebody is going to be put to death, they have to do something that is worthy of being put to death.
I say that when Maglin kills me or one of you, then you can kill him.
Whoa, I'm not gonna let him do that, Tio.
That's how far I think we should go before anything.
Well, if that's the case, then I never
Murderous
get to kill him
happens.
because he ain't killing you.
Oh, there we go.
It's problem solved.
This was a lot easier than I
Art,
expected.
this
Logically
teamwork thing is
sound.
great.
Logically
I'm
sound.
not arguing for it. I'm arguing against it.
Look, Jesse, how would you feel if somebody killed one of us?
Well, that's what I just said by saying that.
No, but that's exactly my point. They're reacting the same way that you would if somebody had killed one of us and you thought that it was one of them who had done it.
Well, here's
And
the
I'm not
difference,
saying that the way that they've been talking to Tio is fair, because it's not. But
It may be. I don't know what's going on. I don't know
you
what.
didn't mastermind the murder of an innocent woman.
I didn't, but maybe I did accidentally.
How?
Hold
Have
on.
you seen? Have you seen?
Hold
the
on.
things
I
you've
could
been
have done
dealing
it.
with?
I could have done it.
Hold on.
Have you seen the things you've been dealing with?
Hold
The things
on.
that we have no understanding of.
Hold on.
Well,
Bring
sure,
that
but
back.
we've been with you the whole time.
Oh.
When did you have time to mastermind the death of an innocent woman?
Tio, you obviously didn't do that.
Have you heard of the
psycho.
butterfly effect?
What
It's
if-
all there. All of the
Butterflies?
theory is laid down. All of the theory for our actions at one moment in time to cause
Theo.
a terrible reaction you don't expect at another
Theo.
point in time. It's
Theo.
all there.
Tio, stop talking. You're insane.
If that were the case, I've killed so many people.
Killed so many people.
This is the biggest. I wish Maglin were here, because this is the biggest fucking evidence that Tio ain't the mastermind.
What if I did it? I wouldn't know, would I?
It's triple, double, ultra, quadruple reverse psychology.
What I've done is I've made sure that I can't.
I
know
call
if
this
I've killed
quantum
people.
psychology.
I've given myself plausible deniability.
This is Schrodinger's
What if
deception.
Arena was my wife?
Schrodinger's
Oh.
murderer.
Well, special moments aside, any specific action from the party?
I finished eating the kebab very gratefully.
Okay.
Okay. It
Anything
tastes
else?
like chicken,
Nailed it.
strangely.
How about while
It's
you're
like
eating the
teriyaki
kebab,
lizard right there.
you're cooking up a message to Jardine.
Cadavers, tell me what to say.
You're an adult. You have.
I am an adult that apparently murdered someone.
You didn't.
I don't think that should be the message.
Tio, you haven't even killed an imp.
I have at least
Have
one.
you? I
think
think you've befriended more imps than you've killed imps.
There was
So-
one where I was very close to him for quite a number of hours, if not days.
Uh-huh.
Don't let them distract you. Message.
Okay.
I like
Johnny,
distractions.
Where are you? Are you sick?
It was a pause for effect. Wait spell.
Yes, I'm sorry. Counting is coming to me very difficultly.
Just like the old timey
it's
messages.
difficult to count.
Where are you? Stop.
She hasn't said over, so the spell can't cast.
Oh no, I ran out of words. I can't say over. I can't say the spell.
You start monologuing.
Anyway,
God, I think I should. That's just part of the message.
Jardine, where are you?
TOA
Are you
needs to
safe?
link the
We
spell.
need
Account
you.
for the spell usage.
Does that sound right?
Yes.
I'll
Tell him.
repeat that
Tell him
and
to get
cast the spell.
in touch with Crimson Guard.
Get in touch with Crimson Guard.
Over.
Sending's an evocation. It's like magic missile to your head.
Can't miss.
Which
I
is
actually
also
can
magic
miss, and it did
missile.
miss.
I still can't believe. Did I roll a 1 when I was trying to talk to Rosa in the Feywild? Did that really happen, or did I imagine that?
You rolled a 5% chance.
Okay. So it was below a 5.
Well, you rolled a 1 on a D. You rolled a
100.
critical failure on a D100, essentially.
If that isn't telling of this man, I don't know what is.
I really want to find her. I just will only commit 1 spell slot a day to doing so.
Okay. TOA, shortly
Odd
I will
character
send you
reason.
a private message detailing the answer, because there is one.
Oh, okay, good. I was worried it was just gonna be.
Oh, it's probably like, it's probably just gonna be fuck you, you evil bitch. You killed Arena. Why the
That's
fuck
why
did I come meet up with you?
said it
You-
wouldn't be helpful. Anyway.
You dumb fuck. I will kick you to death. I know what it is with kicking me with a death move.
I'm right here. Where are you exactly? Put down your weapons. What?
Open the door to you.
Wait, did you send it already, or? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Anything in between? I have to type this out. Anything? Anything at all? Well, the message will take its sweet time to return.
Perhaps-
So
Perhaps a
maybe,
5-minute break.
even just maybe, we'll wait for that 5-minute break. Or we can take it right here if everyone just feels like having it right here.
I could really use a bathroom break.
Let us take a
Is
break.
that in character?
Yes.
She's like, excuse me. I have to
I'm
go.
I need to think.
I must go to the little sheep's room.
What if I'm a mastermind? I have to go poo.
I
Well,
need to go to the little sheep's room.
TL Nuggets later. We'll take 5 minutes, guys. And we'll be back with the exciting conclusion of this entire campaign based on this message.
I want to get like a camera on my roof so I can just lean all the way back, or
Oh,
my
that sounds
ceiling, not on the
amazing.
roof.
Just in the top
The
of
roof.
the teepee.
Shows outside, yeah. Top of the teepee. You should start the stream.
I did.
Or are we live?
Yeah.
Excellent. Am I
Barely.
alive? I think
No.
I am.
I
might
don't
be
pass the
undead.
Turing test.
I actually legitimately failed one of those like "Are you a robot?" tests like 3 times in a row at work today.
Oh no, Dora.
Why are they testing if you're a robot at work?
No, I had to use this government site to verify something, and it was one of those like click the box to show you're not a robot, and then it pulled up the like click all of the images that have a bus in them, and I don't know what I was doing wrong. Missing buses apparently.
Right.
So jury's out on whether or not I
Wait, was it failing it or just giving you another one to do?
No, I failed it.
Do you guys want to play D&D tonight?
Yeah.
No, I want to work out
I
why
wanna check
Dora is
robot
like
boxes.
Let's talk more about this Turing test.
a mess.
Oh, Beth, there's so many reasons.
And so, welcome back, TOA. Your response was slow. It doesn't get to convey emotion and manner. It's not. There's no tone to this message. This is a spell that allows for communications, but it's not quite exactly as the same as a conversation in person. It's thought out, it's etc. And you've gotten your response as you return from the outhouse, which the dwarves call the further inner house because they're under. And you've managed to rejoin the party.
Is it just a straight shaft to lava? Is that what it is? Like
It's
down to the center of the earth?
that would be a lot of mining just for poop, but you never know. You never know.
Extremely efficient waste disposal.
Everyone has to use that one because they're not
Not
going
doing
to
that
build
again.
700. What have we done? Well, we've destroyed the foundation for our town because we have a lot of.
We just wanted to make sure that poop was getting disposed of real efficiently.
Yeah. We're famous for that. So,
Okay.
go.
Jardine says that he's not here. He's in the underlibrary with Imbaran. Now that I think about that, they may be here, but I'm not sure if that's here, if that's in his study in the city.
No.
Didn't Maglin say that Imbaran was spending a lot of time in the underlibrary?
He mentioned he's spending a lot of time locked away, which I'm assuming is in this underlibrary.
So that seems
we-
bad to me.
It does seem bad that you need a cleric to be with you. But it could be just because
Really?
Jardine knows him.
Really quick, we also need a cleric to be with us.
Right, but we are actively seeking things out, and Imbaran was actively trying not to seek things out.
Or we killed too many wizards and Imbaran went power mad and now he's keeping Jardine hostage.
He also said, "Where are we? What do we need?" So there's some measure of
Alternatively, we are just
autonomy.
guessing, and I could ask Imbaran myself.
Or he already knows.
Or he already knows because we keep that fucking feather on us.
We do, as a measure of my trust in him.
Okay. Hold on. Before we go any further, who are we trusting? Who are we not trusting? Because I'm very confused. Because you trust 2 people one time, who I don't think we should trust.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
You can't trust more than one person.
I find both of these people that you trust not trustworthy. So what's happening in your brain?
Right. Well, Imbaran is only untrustworthy in the sense that eventually he might go mad, right?
Allegedly. I don't know what that means, but I hear
Well-
people say it a lot.
I would also venture forth that Imbaran could very much know what he's doing and be manipulating the various parties, ourselves primarily, to do what he wants us to do.
The problem comes in that you can apply that same logic to anybody and anything, and never trust anything ever again. At that point, why even live in society? Just go in the woods, live with the sheep.
I think it's easy to just
Not
throw
not
that-
you, Tio.
it's easy to throw that generality around, but not every single person is the head wizard of the realm who's also a fragment of an ancient wizard who has the risk of growing more and more maniacal in their search for power. I think it's a very, very sane thing to think that there might be more than meets the eye there, versus this gentleman here, whom none of us know to distrust yet. And you can keep walking. And
If we are not going to trust a man that has a track record at being a good guy, then who are we going to trust?
Jesse, to give you perspective on where I'm standing, just in case you're wondering,
Over
I
here.
trust no one like I trust my wife. I don't trust the Crimson Guard like I trust you all.
I'm going to be honest. Based on everything I know of your wife so far, I don't trust your wife.
Well, I did trust her up until
She was naked in hell.
she up until I lost her. I don't know what happened after that. I don't know what she's become. But before that happened, when I knew her as my wife, I trusted her like no one else. I don't trust Imbaran and Maglin like that. I trust them insofar as much I must trust them in order to keep moving forward. As in, my suspicion of them and my knowledge that they are manipulative and conniving individuals will not hinder me wanting to work towards a good with them.
What I get out of that is you're a better person than I am.
Well,
Yes.
that is all
I mean,
relative and
oh.
may or may not be true. But
Yeah, I think that's why you're a better
Trust them.
person. I love you, Jesse.
I hate to bring this up, but what is our goal here? We've been helping Imbaran thus far, and that's been our driving motivation, but what are we getting out of that?
Our goal here is to cure the madness of Imbaran and kill this bad guy that has busted his way through and is a vampire, dragon, wizard, god, demigod, little fragment guy.
Tiamat looms on the horizon, it seems.
And also,
I don't
to
know
play
if Tim
devil's
agrees.
advocate for a second.
Please don't.
Okay.
Poof, I didn't show up. Yes, yes.
we turn
I'm
really
also
around
a
really quickly to see if she's got something on her back.
A duck!
I knew it!
Duck.
Back goes the door.
But what happens if there's no way for Imbaran to be safe? What if there's...
Well, then we must deal with him as we can.
We deliver justice.
So hold on. You saying I have permission?
Yes, this is
No.
what I said earlier. When Maglin kills or attempts to kill one of us, then you can kill him. Same thing with Imbaran. It is an exact exchange.
I think it is not always good to give Jesse absolute answers, as Jesse is not good at interpreting those things if the
Jesse
situation
is
changes.
very good at gut feelings and very good at thinking
Yes.
things through with her emotions, which are just as valid as logic.
Pangs of hunger.
More confusing, but just as valid. And
Did you say salad? I don't really like salad, but I'll eat it.
I do not believe that people's lives should be taken on a gut feeling, unless they
This
are
is-
imps.
this is why I'm giving an absolution.
You literally just said she's very good at thinking things through with her emotions.
This is
Yes,
untrue.
which is different from.
Tio, I need to take
Logic.
away your rights of murder too, because clearly you are
Please,
also a crazy
please take
person.
them from me.
Do we go
They're
to
gone.
It's
Imbaran
like
or
I
not?
didn't want
I
these
never
rights
wanted
in
them in the
first place.
beginning.
So we'll rendezvous back with the Crimson Guard, but I mean, I can't imagine Jardine will suddenly show up here and this plan is all going to work.
I agree. I think what is best may be to go and have a meeting with Imbaran, with all of us, lay everything on the table.
Well, why don't we check in with him now? You can do that, right?
I can. I don't know if he's listening.
Make
Imbaran,
him listen.
are you listening? If you're listening, get in contact. You can reach me here at this number.
A few minutes and moments go by, and the silence of if your own brain continues. There's no additional contact.
He has not gotten in contact with me at this number. We may need to go and see him.
We need to wait for the Crimson Guard as
I
planned.
can scry on him, but
That's
he may
fine.
have divination wards up.
I think we should scry again on the one. We need to find where the hell the bag of holding is.
Also, notably, divination wards are usually specific to a person. Not always, but sometimes.
I
I
am-
think it might be worth scrying on Jardine to see whether or not he's being
Yes.
held against his will.
Well, I think it's good to scry on Jardine regardless.
Yes, but I
scrying
mean,
in
if he's being
Well,
if he's being held against his will, then that's a point in the column of Ambaran has already gone mad wizard.
Yes, that's very
I
true.
think if he were being held against his will, he would have mentioned that in his message.
Not necessarily.
It's mental.
Maybe he's enchanted.
Enchantment.
Enchanté.
He didn't say anything about.
I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
We can speculate endlessly. Let's scry on Jardine.
All right,
Indeed.
I'll sit down. Well, I'll just stand.
We're
up
just
right
like in
there.
the town square.
Just like-
Tio, do all your
like
magic!
gesturing wildly. Yeah, no, Tio has the little.
Honestly, we're 10th level. I don't give a fuck about any random dwarf hearing this shit. They step to me, I will put them in the ground.
They're already in the ground. You're
I will destructive wave their entire civilization if I need to.
I'm gonna
We
go
are-
get our horses.
We are gods at this point.
Davern's chest gets all puffy and he starts looking at dwarves. Yeah, that's right.
I'll take all of
Explaining
you.
all of what was just said.
I will kill you all. I have that
Cadet-
power.
Sit. I grab the sleeve of Cardaver's robe and just start like tugging him down.
I created a griffin out of thin air.
I'm gonna go look for food.
Food is very, very easy to find. The dwarves are happy to have taverns, which is a normal place you can find them at, as well as food vendors throughout the town.
Yep, I'll just go around buying stuff in my pockets.
You will absolutely be able to stuff your pockets with dwarven meats, dwarven treats, and like rock candy. They invented that, and etc.
Candy, oh my god, take me back.
Haven't done this before. Particularly, if I may admit, I feel particularly distant from my god recently because I serve the deity of peace and reason, and we have been doing neither of those things. I'm feeling a bit under the heel of divine scorn. Anyway,
You're monologuing.
I'm telling you my feelings, which are very important.
I'm listening to your feelings, Tio.
Thank you.
Rock
I
candy?
can commune. No,
I'll take some rock candy
Rock
while I'm listening to
candy?
their feelings.
Jesse starts talking. I can commune with my god and ask questions and get a yes or no answer, a definite yes or no answer. Whereas scrying will provide a picture, this will be a confirmation about whether he's in trouble or not, whether my wife and I have killed someone or not, or
I let's put that one to bed, Tio. You have not killed Arena.
I don't know if my wife is killed.
That's true.
It also, to be honest with you, doesn't matter.
At this point, dwarves in the street are absolutely. You haven't killed, and the dwarves are just starting to.
Tio, if it's any consolation, I'm not entirely sure that you haven't killed anyone either.
Thank you.
How
At
is
least
that
one of
helpful,
you-
Gislin?
At least one of you will admit the possibility.
You need
And
to.
I
You need to
can't
listen to
declare that
Gislin.
you're. I can't declare
I
that
am
you're
justified
good
because
at
I
it.
can commit murder. Wait.
But one way or another, I think it is possible. And I think if we just dismiss it from being possible, then we're going to get blindsided by it if
Exactly.
it does come true.
It's exactly how I feel and think.
I am of the opinion that things of a relatively low chance of possibility of even existing are not worth considering until they are fact.
This is why you're not a knowledge cleric.
I'm a
Why
law
you're a
bard.
bard.
I'm a law
Yes.
bard. I focus on things that are true, not things that can be
You
speculated.
focus on things that have already happened. And this hasn't happened yet.
Did we scry on?
No, but the whole point was that
Jardine?
it has happened and you're getting blamed for it.
The knowledge of what has actually happened has not happened yet.
Right. So why focus on the knowledge until you have the knowledge?
Because we have to move forward.
I agree. So let's move forward and
I
not
don't
speculate
understand
further.
what's happening.
Rock tongue.
I think I know.
I would like more candy, please, Jesse.
I hate all of this.
Do you want me to scry or do you want me to commune?
Should have just died at level 1 like the rest of the parts.
Gladys, I'm glad you didn't die. Do you want me to scry
Yes.
or ask questions?
Scry.
Okay.
Or ask questions and provide the answers we want after scrying. But just scry. Just scry.
Okay.
Scry.
I will
Say
pull out.
scry if you want to.
So if you link the spell and account for the spell,
When I do want to.
and also please do tell if you're doing this in the middle of the road after all.
I will duck a little further away.
I think
I will-
is there like a quiet place like out of the public eye where we can
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
all relocate to?
The main streets are indeed accessed and connected by alleys throughout. That doesn't mean that all traffic stops in those places, but it is greatly reduced as the vendors do not pursue you down alleys, etc. But if you stay on the main streets, people will come up to you and try to sell you what they consider a valuable item that you consider trash.
But
You know,
continue on.
this will slice an egg if you cut it. Correct? You know, they're like, "Oh, it's just a knife." They're like, "It's a hooked knife. You need this."
Can slice an egg with my teeth.
Tio, you did not link the spell description. What you did was
Ah.
you used the cast spell. So please share with VTT. Excellente. Now, Jardine. Click. And one little fun little roll for me and only me. Well, let's see what the modifiers are. So what's your save DC?
I want to say it is
17, I see. Okay. You are familiar with the target.
Mhm. You don't have anything of his though.
You don't have anything like a body part. Ooh,
Or-
that's a little grim.
We
I
should,
have his ear.
we should start taking
Where's the
things
rest
from
of 'em?
people.
Just one little hair.
Actually,
Instead of-
that's probably not a bad thing to just all of us give like Tio some hair or shit.
Please take everyone's pinky and hand them in. hand in your pinkies. So you reach out and it's the crystal. Actually, you chose a mirror.
I
Is
have a
that correct?
mirror.
Mirror on
Silver
the
mirror.
mirror on the dwarven building outside wall. It clouds over, and you believe that there's a non-detection in the area that you must be in.
There's some kind of spell blocking it. It could mean either that Jardine has put it up so people don't scry on Mbaran, or Mbaran has put it up so people don't scry on him.
Likely in Byron.
What is Jardine?
Jardine is a dwarf.
You must keep in mind that though it is possible he has done so we cannot scry on him, it is equally possible he has done so because clearly these other wizards have ways of scrying on each other. As we've seen by the orb, we used to scry and therefore take things from
It's
another.
true. I can try communing now, if you'd like.
Go ahead. What are you going to ask?
Questions? We could ask, is Mbaran compromised?
We should
Although I think
ask.
know
We
that.
should ask if Imbaran is lost to his madness.
Okay. We could also ask if Jardine is in trouble.
I don't know if it's worth asking that if after asking the first. If he's lost to madness, he's in trouble. If he's not, he is not. Jordan can take care of himself.
How many questions do you get?
I think I get 3.
What about your magic bear?
Yeah.
I mean,
You could magic bear it.
what is the limitation on the questions?
limitation is that they must be yes or no questions.
What's your favorite color?
Is Maglin planning on betraying us?
No.
It's a good one.
Did you have anything to do with the killing of so and so?
Yes, those are my. That last one especially was one of mine. But
There you go. That's 3. I can count the 3.
I feel like
Aurelia.
the third question is vague enough that you cannot take a yes as meaning anything.
all right. Aurelia, do you have any input? That's fine. All right.
This is good candy.
Okay, and you
That's
reach
my
in your pocket and produce the cell phone that goes to your god. Please link the spell.
Okay.
Press 1 for miracles.
Account for
I'm
the spell
actually
slot
trying-
usage.
To think of a better way to ask that third question.
Is my wife a homicidal maniac? Is my wife
Fine,
Tiamat?
homicide.
I think you should just aim for
How
really
many heads?
really specific, absurd things that if you randomly get them right, we figure everything out. Be like, is Tiamat secretly controlling my wife to kill the party because Tiamat is worried that Maglin is on to the way to dispel Tiamat's arrival back in the material plane by absorbing Jardane's holy power and using it to defeat Imbaran, thus breaking the
I
cycle.
hope you're listening because you're going to have to repeat this.
I have to ask this in a minute, and I think that's exceeded a minute.
Well, talk faster.
I think maybe is my wife evil would work.
Evil's so subjective, though. Like, what
Like-
is really good and evil?
What is the purpose of this question?
I don't know.
To find
Is
out.
she, if she's evil, what are
It's
we
my
looking to get?
wife, Cadavers.
Right, but will you love her any less if she's evil?
I would have a moral crisis, and then I would know what to do.
Don't ask that.
It is not worth odds asking this question because it does not currently lead us in any direction.
I have a spell. We can ask questions 30 years later. Okay, so
If you want to find out if your wife is evil, do that in your own time.
All right.
Don't do that on company time.
Do I ask? Did I?
Do we
did
pay
I
you
murder?
for this?
Well,
Do I ask? Did I murder?
I think we should
Arena?
focus on what we're currently doing. Right.
Which I thought this was current.
I don't
I
think so.
think if
Arena
it
is
gives you
already
peace
dead.
of mind, it's worth it.
If you want to ask something, ask
I
regarding
can't-
the
well,
emissary.
If
that
you have
gave
another
the false
question that will
information.
take place.
How about asking, is the emissary working against the party? The one
my
that
own-
gave the information
right.
and also the sword.
From my understanding of the Eladrin, it was a neutral party that didn't have anything to do with this.
Right, from your understanding.
This is true.
But we do know they've been given an evil
your
curse. soul.
third-hand account.
All right. So, is Maglin planning to betray us? All right. Is Imbaran already succumbed to the
Madness.
madness? And was the messenger working against us?
I think thirdly.
What about the bag of holding? Is there any question we can ask to find the bag of holding?
Only in very specific terms. I think a follow-on question from the second question, if it is a yes, is can the madness be cured by the ritual Maglin is intending?
All right. I'll lay out all of my incense and vial of holy water. It's not unholy, so it is just holy water. That's what the spell says, to use a vial of holy or unholy water.
Makes water unholy.
What makes water holy?
Oh, when you
Dasani.
bless it.
Is it Dasani? It could be
Well,
unholy.
there you go. Do the opposite. You curse it, or whatever the opposite of blessing is.
Right? And Tio will get down on his knees and close his eyes. And
You're
he'll
like,
ask,
Aquafina, it burns.
ah! Deer Park! Ah!
Your park's the worst.
It is.
Well, deer are in that water.
Well, I'm
Of
using
course it
Fiji.
tastes
If
fine.
anyone's wondering, I'm just kidding. I haven't ever had Fiji water. I'm going to ask, will Maglin betray us?
Did you link the spell yet?
I thought I did.
I just see because.
I like how we decide specifically on the wording of the question, then you change it like
Okay.
3 seconds later.
Luckily,
that was
I
the
was
word that-
I was too busy asking a question. Please say it again.
Can we do this in the style of Family Feud when you announce
Yeah.
the answers?
Survey says.
It's hard to remember the question verbatim when we keep talking around it. So,
Hit me the first question. What's the first question?
is it?
I think it's
Is Maglin planning to betray us?
That's what I just said. Is Maglin planning to betray us?
That is not what you just said. But
That's
okay.
what I said. What did I say?
You said, will Maglin betray us, right? It's like a
I
wording
see.
difference.
It's
like-
semantics. Okay.
well, no.
I like
Is
semantics.
Maglin
Let's move past this.
is Maglin planning to betray us? I cannot remember the request verbatim, Beth.
Okay.
I need
Is
a list.
Maglin planning to betray us? Next question.
Yes. Has Imbaran succumbed to the madness?
Next question.
So all the answers are at once.
Yeah, you have to do this all within 1 minute, please. I'm looking.
Okay. If Maglin, or if Imbaran has succumbed to the madness, can he be saved?
Through the
Done.
ritual, Maglin's proposed.
Through the ritual
Okay, never
Maglin.
mind. Done was said. Too late.
It's hard to remember. I'm sorry. It is not.
okay.
Yeah, it's not possible for me to
If
do that.
Maglin, or I'm sorry, if Imbaran has succumbed to the madness, can he be saved? Is the question. So the
Yes.
first question answers yes.
Ah, okay.
God told us.
There you go.
Second question answers yes.
Huh. Worst case scenario.
No, this is good because it like lets us do
Yeah,
things.
direction.
Third question answer is yes.
Oh. Ah!
So you're saying there's a chance.
This is actually the worst because this now means we
have
know he
no
can be
friends.
saved. We don't know if he can be saved by how Maglin does it. We know Maglin's trying to betray us, so we're always looking over our shoulder. But we also know that Maglin knows more about saving him from madness than
Hold on,
I can
time out.
then
We can
divine
save
the
him by
answer.
killing him.
we can. But at that point, why ever do diplomacy ever in any game? Just kill everything.
Yeah.
We can't metagame. We can't metagame right now.
The answer is
we
yes.
Yeah.
We can't do that. We're working as these characters and we have these specific
I've
requirements.
decided to have morals.
Tio has also
it's a
decided
character.
to have
The answer
It's a
is
character
no.
choice.
I literally asked him if he was a danger to his kingdom, would he give up his life? And he said yes. He
Okay.
practically said, if I go all crazy, you should kill me. Like,
So he is. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying that
Casey.
he is redeemable.
so, alright, your characters, you know how to do magic. You can figure out how to cure him. If I get there and he's fucked up and he's danger to everyone, I'm going to kill him because that's what he would have wanted and that solves the
okay,
problem.
hold on. That's fine.
And also
But
murder, which
we
I
can
love.
all we can say if we can't work out how to cure him, kill him, right?
Yeah.
But like,
There is
I
a
feel like-
milestone somewhere in his intestines, and I'm gonna find it.
well, there's an end of campaign probably in his intestines. So like,
That's a milestone, I think.
the
Oh, no.
point is like,
No, this is
inten-
just a kidney stone! Ah!
the point is like intentions of what we're doing, right? Because our intentions are just, oh, there's no point doing anything. Let's just go kill everything.
Well,
Like,
that's not at
if-
all what I'm saying.
No, it's
We
fine.
should have this conversation
Okay.
in character, right?
We should stop having a meta discussion about the fight mechanics of D&D versus the social mechanics of D&D.
I don't think we cannot rely on Maglin to solve this problem. If you want to solve the problem of making Imbaran better from where he is, we solve the problem on our own. We remove this dependency wholesale. It hasn't helped us at all to work with them, aside from all of those great things that they did for us.
All right.
And if they're planning on
It's-
betraying us, then we
What-
need to be
what-
one step ahead of them. And if we're dependent on them, we can't do that.
Right.
It's
One
very
thing that we
possible that
need
they're
to-
already working with Imbaran towards whatever madness Imbaran is planning. If Jardane is with him in the underlibrary, and presumably we can believe that Maglin was telling us the truth when he said that Imbaran has been locking himself away, and Jardane is currently locked away with him underneath the effects of some sort of anti-divination magic, then I don't think it's too much of a leap to say that perhaps whatever madness it is that Imbaran is planning, he has drafted them into it.
I totally
Imbaran
agree.
Could have
So-
orchestrated this
Well,
betrayal.
once again, this is
Also, can
What's
we
more-
destroy the fucking feather now?
right. Well, I was about to get to
Mayhaps?
that. We're in the middle of speculation. I think we
Well-
should stop speculating.
I think we
Stop.
should burn the feather.
Burning the feather will do nothing. It's a magical item.
Well, can we at least
Could
give
be a
it...
magical
Yeah,
item on
Yeah,
fire.
yes, once again, I was going to get to that, but you were speculating. So let's stop speculating and start
Alright.
doing what are we planning to do
First,
after I get rid of
before we
that.
do,
Hold on,
an-
wait,
before we do
hold on,
anything else,
wait.
get rid of
One
the
second.
feather so we don't
That's-
say another word that can
That's
be heard
exactly
by the...
what I'm trying to do. Hold on.
I rotate Cadaverous and push him away from us.
Cadaverous will take the feather and just throw it on the floor somewhere. There we go.
You have to move it
You
away
throw
from
the
us,
feather, and it
Cadaverous.
just
It's a,
kind of floats.
And then you
to
breathe
the
it in.
ground as a feather
And
might.
it drifts closer to us.
let's go somewhere else.
And then a gust of underground wind picks it up, and it just follows the party.
Wow.
So,
Alright.
we have a rendezvous with Maglin and the others. We can't do anything in the city, so either we don't show up at the rendezvous and we tip
well,
our hand, or we
importantly-
keep up this. We know
Go on.
we know that since well, we actually don't know where Dardane is. We know where he said he is. He could be here.
This is true.
So possible.
I think that it may be unlikely, so we should maybe not fixate on that.
Well,
But
whatever, we need to decide what we're going to do for this rendezvous that we've just planned. Either we
Right.
don't show up, which immediately puts a target on us, and we're back to square one, in which case
Right.
the next time we encounter them, it's going to be in combat. And we need to leave.
Or-
We need to leave the city immediately.
the betrayal could also mean that it could mean any petty thing. I don't know if it is specifically for this plan that we have with them, or if it's just in general that he's working selfishly and has no goodwill for us.
I think it is
We already
important.
know that.
We cannot go into any conversation with Maglin with a desire or an intention to brute force our way to the things we want. That was not work. Maglin is a man of ego and pride. He must think that he has the upper hand in what's going on. What we need to do, in my belief, is to get a hold of the crown and any gems he has in his possession. And we must locate the other gems that we have, which are in the bag of holding, which we don't know where it is. I would like to try and cure Imbaran.
I would as well, but we have to do a lot of thinking and casting to get there.
If you,
I agree.
If you, either of you or both of you combined, could see whatever Maglin's work was, notes, things he's collected, perhaps have access, could you recreate what he's doing?
I
Very
imagine
likely.
I could.
Could you do it in the amount of time it would take the city guard to respond to a incursion into Maglin's estate?
It would
Possibly.
be a crunch.
if we knew exactly what and where it was going to be.
Well, then perhaps that is something to see if we can get from Maglin.
We could also confront him and say, the gods have said you're going to betray us. Tell us what that
How do
means.
you think that's going to go?
I don't think it's worth it, honestly. If he's going to betray us, he's untrustworthy. Especially when we've extended our trust towards him and it's been disregarded.
We do know, though, that we
There
have
is-
put the fear of death into all of them.
There is also the small, speculative, very speculative possibility that Maglin is also a fragment of Empire. Or of total God.
I have considered that, but not for a long time.
But yes, maybe that was a question we should have asked the gods in hindsight.
I do not have the ability to describe anyone anymore, but I do have a spell that can tell me whether things are a good idea or a very bad idea within a certain number of days. We can ask questions like that.
It's within 30 minutes.
It's been 7 days, I think, actually. This one I'm thinking of.
It's
Divination is...
different, very different. Not what I thought.
Well, we can't
so
get
we-
to Barn that fast.
We shouldn't be straight up with Maglin, and also, as much as it may not be what you want to hear, we can't just go in and kill Maglin.
Right. Because I feel like that will upset some kind of balance.
Well, I don't care about balance as much as I care about not being a giant dick of the legal and moral proportions.
I don't have a problem doing that.
I know you don't.
But let's adopt Cadaverous' problem for the moment.
What's that?
The one where Cadaverous has a problem with just outright killing Maglin immediately. Because it's a dickish move and also slightly immoral.
I do hope to have a career after all of this.
It's incredibly. It's incredibly
We don't
immoral,
like him. He needs
and
to
it's
die.
incredibly illegal.
I'm on your side.
I know. I'm just reiterating.
Okay, so we've all agreed that we're not killing Maglin right now.
Huh?
We're not killing Maglin unless he poses an active threat to us.
So the
Yes.
DM has
What do we do at breakfast? Do we fake it till we
questions
make
is,
it?
What are we
I'm
doing?
going to tell you, I'm not very good at bluffing.
Are you staying in the town?
Yes.
Yes.
Any activity I need to be aware of before we fast forward to
One
the
final
morning?
point of question, or a point of, our active goals are to get our hands on the crown and gems, and also the information from his rituals. Anything else?
Yes. And we need to is the plan that we're going to try to just play along with whatever it is that he wants for the moment?
We're not going to play along necessarily with what he wants, but we're going to play along with the illusion that everything is as it was before they left us.
Okay.
We do also, it would be in our best interests to show them through sort of truth that Tio is not the murderer that they believe he is.
They can ask me any question.
Even if they are to betray us, there's only benefit in doing this.
The only issue is that if they ask me, will you betray us?
No, untrue, because they can only ask. You're not compelled to answer. You could
But
just only
silence
give the.
says everything.
Well, think of a way to respond.
You know I can't think
It
on my
is
feet,
sad.
Cadaverous.
Or sitting?
I could hang
down.
you upside down.
I wrote my vows out. And I read them off a piece of paper.
3 years of good work.
Because I cannot think on my feet.
Well, I mean, never mind.
I know I can shove food in your mouth when they ask you a question we don't want to answer.
I believe that will be.
As Jesse is ready.
We will tell them that questions are limited to things regarding your
Situation.
situation. Right. Sorry, my brain turned off.
No,
know
my
what that
phone's
feels
too
like?
And that if you would like it to be different, then he is welcome to step into the circle as well, and we will ask similar questions.
You can both hold
Yeah.
the feeling stick.
Right.
Nap cup time.
That's what we're gonna call it
Okay.
these days.
Time.
So,
gather
Timing can be
thee
fast forwarded.
round.
Let's get it.
Did you
Tia
see my
Wave.
Did you
We
see my
flavored the
message,
truth.
Timur?
I did. TOA,
Mm.
you're going to have a long rest. You can change your spells if you so choose.
Okay.
Same with you,
Anyone
Cadaverous, and any
have
other
any spell-
spellcaster, really. But I say it to TOA because TOA has the divinations
I
and
think
whatnot.
I'm gonna
and
prepare Hunter's
Struggle.
Mark.
it's weird.
And
And
good
all of
berry.
that being said,
I think I'm gonna prepare smack with stick.
in the morning, as you walk into the inn, or actually probably stayed at the inn that evening, walk down to the common area where dwarven breakfast is being made, and it's like 4-course meal,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hearty and includes lots of beer. Maglin arrives alone.
I'm gonna look for the mother ones round and before I sit down and eat.
I would like to look for Cecilia,
Oh, Maglin,
specifically, very carefully.
where are the others?
Maglin sits down and says, well, quite simply, Arabeth quit. Something about paid her debt with her life. She's no longer a part of the Crimson Guard. Celia has seconded it, so she is released. Celia promised to be here this morning, but as I was worried, is not. Celia is rather headstrong.
Does she
I
have
know
a means
that's-
of invisibility?
Celia is quiet and stealthy. If Celia were in the room, you may not even notice. That being said, I do not believe she is here. She is likely on the road. This is not her stomping grounds.
And
So you're
Jardine, is he here in
alone.
the city?
Jardine was not to be found. Jardine is not at his home, not at his church. I have looked down in the under mountain area as well. I've been up for many, many, many hours, and I've had very little sleep once again. But this is becoming, unfortunately, status quo lately.
Do you have any idea where he might be?
Well, there's no indication that he meant to leave the city. I didn't see packed bags. I talked to his servants, and they said his disappearance was rather sudden. I say servants, of course. Jardine would say friends or whatever, but they clean his estate.
Insight check.
You may insight check, Maglin. Yes, he considers them servants.
Oh gosh.
We can.
With me both.
Yeah,
We're like,
bad. I have a +8 to insight.
like, there's just so much bad emotions happening. I can't.
It's like I
read
just
the
can't
room.
focus.
Beth, what were you looking for?
My vibe check has been repulsed.
I was trying to. I was lie detecting him, basically, or trying to read anything on his face that would indicate.
Falsehoods. Maglin is clearly withholding information. Maglin almost always withholds some information, especially if it's important to him, but maybe not even relevant. For example, if you're a wizard and you're like, I've discovered a spell, I'll keep that to myself. He's acting like you might want to know that because he feels very self-important, but you might not want to know that. So you feel that there's something absolutely he's not saying, but here we are.
Is there anything further you want to add? Or don't want to add on?
Well, it comes down to this. We only know of one place where we can draw out that dark, evil wizard. And I suggest that we do so sooner rather than later, because if I were plotting against the world, I would not be idle ever. So he is likely sowing the seeds of whatever evil plans he has involved for everybody. And that will likely mean a move against Imbaran, the last of which he would need to then be the sole owner of all that is the former creature deity, the guy.
And where is this proposed location?
There's no proposed about it, unless you know of another scrying thing that can reach out and draw him in. I believe Tioe bragged about.
I do not brag.
You brag sometimes.
I'm sorry. Tioe humbly mentioned how Tioe humbly stole his stick from him, and then Tioe wonderfully mentioned how selflessly Tioe took from the creature, but likely provoked the creature.
It was a moment of rash and foolish decision making.
I agree with all of those
mountain,
things.
aren't we?
How close are you to figuring out how to prevent or solve Imbaran from going insane?
Well, things have escalated quickly. I would like some time to continue the research that I need to do. It will likely keep me away for a bit, but time is of the essence. So I understand if that's not an option. And if it's not an option, Imbaran needs to be destroyed.
Will you share your current research with us?
If I share my current research with you, I become useless. And clearly, as soon as I'm useless, many of you feel that that will give you carte blanche to kill me.
I'm unsure whether or not my word means anything to you, but
I have always valued our conversations, Cadavras. Unfortunately, you have very little sway over your companions. They do not value them like say I do. Matter of fact,
I understand.
when this is all over, maybe you should find a place with the Crimson Guard instead. We have a vacancy.
Sounds like you have 2 vacancies.
Well, Celia is likely to be back. She's just
So it's just 2 of you.
moody.
You went from like 7 to 2.
A missing person does not make a vacancy. We're likely to find Jardine. He's very capable.
Reina is dead.
4.
That's 3.
I don't know how to count.
I suppose I was in a bit of denial about the arena situation, but you are correct. I suppose we do have 2 vacancies.
Then perhaps...
Assuming that our charter only allows X amount, which of course is ridiculous.
Then perhaps you will not share the exact specifics, but a generality of this ritual. It is possible, you understand, that something could happen to you. Even if we had nothing to do with it.
Possible, just likely something will happen to me.
Right.
I am walking around with a target on my back, and yet here I come to those who are my biggest threat.
We're just sitting here, dude.
Yes. But as you can see, there is still trust issues, right?
I'm just gonna point out that I have food in front of me, and I haven't been upset. So we could have all avoided this if you would have just fed me the first time we had a little discussion.
As non-logical and honestly batshit insane as it is, there is some truth to that. Yes, I understand where you're coming from, but you must also understand that we have allowed you to live. I understand how awful and power-sitting that might be, but we had a chance to kill you and did not. Please accept that as at least indication that your demise is not the
These are my feelings.
Look, if I did not accept that as a gesture of good faith, I would not have come back. Matter of fact,
I know.
I had the ability to whisk away the moment you gave me back my staff. That rod. It's nice, isn't it?
Scepter.
It's a real gold, you know.
That's a mighty fine rod.
Okay, no, good deal. Anyway, point is,
Magdalene, we don't care about your rod.
I don't like the way you put that.
I put it that way for a reason.
Well, you can keep it to yourself next time.
It looks a little too straight. Do you mind if I bend it for you?
I'm going to change the subject.
That dear.
Is there anything you're missing that will help you sort through your work faster? Perhaps something we can get for you since you're a bit partyless at the moment?
Well, the gem was a very important component to such things. Having I don't want to say an example, but more of a example of what I need to fix would be better to craft what I need to craft. I need to do the research. If I had that with me, I could do the research and test it. As it is, I can now only go on theory.
We find that's typically the best way to make decisions.
Theory of this. Who stole our bag?
Well, there's only two likely options, right?
I don't know.
Those
You
with
tell
the
me.
same powers as those using that. Imbaran or Asteris.
Yes.
Now, I dare say I would lean toward Asteris. Why? Because the very selfless acts of TOA, as remember,
I support what Tio did.
I know you do. But TOA may have poked.
But how would Astros even know that Tio was the one who did it?
He wouldn't. But who would be the first you checked if something were suddenly missing by a means maybe shared by three at the time, or thought
You.
of three?
They would have checked you first, Magdalene.
No, you're
But-
missing something.
But
The-
I do
other
know the point
aspects.
you are making. They would have checked us.
Right,
because
but
they
the
know-
other aspects aren't Tio.
The other aspects
I
were
hope
where
I'm not an
Tio
aspect.
stood. Tio stood in a location.
I did.
Yes,
That
but
is a known location.
they were
likely.
sleeping at the time, and when the bag was missing, we were not in that location.
Well, I realized it was missing. Then.
Well, then I reversed my logical conclusion. If you were not in the location when it was missing, which I misunderstood, then clearly
We
it
do
would
not
have
know
to be
when it was
somebody
missing.
who could have tracked you. It is likely Imbaran, which means the madness is going a little out of control. If he gets an essence, it will only accelerate a singular focus, which would be to recombine or destroy the others. Shit.
How do we neutralize Imbaran without killing him?
Much in the way you neutralized me, I suppose. Beat him into submission. He's not an immortal. He's not an immortal. There's no
Yes.
way.
Nothing's
TOA, you
quite
seem to be
immortal.
struggling.
Sorry, I just dropped my microphone.
If
Drop your plate on the table.
if Imbaran is a high-ranking official mage to the king, is the king or whomever presides over Imbaran aware of this?
The king is likely well aware that Imbaran is taking a bit of a sabbatical. But this is not unfortunately unusual, as we wizards often find ourselves deep in research and reclusely so.
It may be in our best interests to present this to the king. If that is even possible, I do not know how easily we can get an audience. I would imagine that our deeds have not gone entirely unnoticed, but obviously we are not in with the crowd. Imbaran has locked himself away, that we know, so
If I were to petition, I could get audience with the king. However, that goes with the gossip of those who are petitioning the king.
of course.
Just be aware. I can do so. At the king's behest, I will be summoned. I would need to be made available, of course, throughout that time, which means I will have to go back to my estate.
Did you come to the mountain to find us?
Concerned about that for some
I-
reason.
I think
I came to the mountains to find an aspect, and I did discover you.
So you did not come expressly to kill me,
Celia did.
correct?
Celia we may have been aware of your location right before we left.
How are you aware? Did you scry on us?
Well, I scried on the location of whom I was treating with, yes.
We weren't in that location.
You were. I
you were
watched
killing him.
I watched it at some bit of interest to see what its capabilities were.
Not many.
Well, good. I hope the next one is just as easily dispatched.
It won't be.
Look, it is clear the only way through all of this is to rid the world of the dangers. Take out Astris if you can. Take out Imbaran if you must. I would like to save Imbaran, but if he is beyond saving, especially if he has the gem and your bag, which I believe the gem was in, yes, then...
Don't know.
But it is likely he is beyond reasoning with currently, which makes him very dangerous, and I would not wish to face him. He will overcome any protections I have,
What if we
spell-wise.
What if we somehow lured him out with whatever his madness is driving him towards?
You know, there's only one thing that you can lure him out with,
Precisely.
so unless you are very, very deceptive, or happen to be in possession of, do you wish to somehow contain Astris?
We only need to put Imbaran in a situation where we have the advantage, which I'm guessing is not within the palace. Subdue him. That will at least keep him from making matters worse or hurting others. And whilst subdued, we have time for you to figure out how to help him while we go take care of Astris.
Might I... It's a rather difficult situation. If you do not take care of Astris first and he notices that Imbaran is subdued, he might seize an opportunity. I don't know what the repercussions of that might be.
Well,
I
then
do not know.
our trap will be baited.
How will you lure out Imbaran?
Should be easy enough if he's insane.
I don't know if it's going to be easy. What would you lure him out with?
I mean, he has to have things
There's
he
only
wants.
one left.
He has to have things he wants and needs, or things in his possession. If he's trying to get possession of the gems, we could take whatever he has.
If he has any of the gems, he's already consumed them.
And you said
The crown that you took, does that have any benefit to him?
I was not able to mend the crown. It's useless.
And you had mentioned that
I would like to insight him on that.
You may go ahead.
Oh.
19.
Maglin does not want to give you the crown.
you had mentioned that the only way for the death of one of these fragments to be beneficial to the others was if they absorbed it through some sphere or something like the one we'd seen up
No.
there.
You misunderstand. Let me say it again. They need to be in close proximity, which the sphere then extends. So if you're in proximity to a sphere or in proximity to each other, I believe the same will occur.
So, one would say that Imbaran is likely very much attached to whatever that sphere or device is,
Indeed.
and would try to reclaim it if it was taken from him.
I would agree with that. However, where do you think he's holed up right now? It's either in his tower, in that small little library he has in his little tower, or in the great underlibrary where he spends his time teaching the students.
He can't be there all day, every day.
I suppose there's some truth to that. I've spent vast amounts of time in the same location, though.
I mean, are you not a brilliant wizard? Can you not solve this simple problem of removing an object from somewhere?
Not if another simple wizard is actively working against that. Then it becomes a chess match. And I dare say Imbaran outclasses me in that. For now. Given a few more years and a few more different circumstances, maybe that's not always going to be the case. Maybe he will be in decline, or I will ascend.
What if he's distracted?
We need to... Okay. Imbaran is very intelligent. More intelligent than us. He has foresight and magic that we don't have. What are we best at?
Killing things.
Improvisation.
Killing things.
I can get you access to the area, but I cannot undo the magics that will protect him.
Neither can I.
And if I were valuing this orb, I would make sure those magics protect that as well.
I mean, he can't protect absolutely everything, right?
He cannot. He will certainly have priorities. So likely, any individuals in the area he will discard if he's succumbed to the madness. It depends. Maybe his madness has changed him. Maybe he does not even value that which he should. Maybe he loses reason and comprehension. I do not know. I have not witnessed it. I have been away. Here I am.
You are.
I think we need to not try and outsmart him as much as we need to We need to work to our strengths, not to his.
Our strength is chaos and unpredictability, and brazenly going after what we want and taking it.
You also have numbers advantage. Imbaran is one person. Yeah, you might have a toad.
He does. I'm well aware of it.
No, I mean... No, never mind.
So an important thing we realized was that... I don't know if we can replicate this, but there was a way to activate his magic circle without his doing so. It was done by one of the aspects before.
In his office.
If you and I are the same, then anything I do, you can do. Yes? Does that give a third party the ability to do that?
It does not.
It does not. However, if we had a sample, I could fool it, much like I've fooled those swords.
A sample meaning?
Unfortunately, like a gem. It's intriguing, though, the idea.
Do you think Asteris would make a move on Imbaran if he felt emboldened?
Unquestionably. If he felt emboldened, then that's that the impetus would be there, of course.
Well, then why don't
the thing is, how cautious is Asteris? I do not know.
This is just an idea currently. This has a potential to be incredibly stupid.
I love it. Let's do it.
What if we got Asteris's help?
That's what I was...
To go after Imbaran.
We've already helped Asteris once.
What is your intention? To allow Asteris to replace or defeat or destroy Imbaran?
They'll both be so distracted that we may have a short window to do whatever we want. If they're locked in combat,
No,
we can take...
that's not what I'm getting at. All I'm getting at is, Asteris would take any opportunity to put Imbaran in a less than favorable position, right? They are rivals. You want your rival to be struggling. If Asteris knew that we were trying to take down Imbaran, even if we weren't going to try and kill him, he might be willing to help us do that.
That's sound logic.
So
I agree.
if we use Asteris's desire for this to get to Imbaran, we do not kill him, but we incapacitate and do what we can for his madness. And then we go and kill Asteris. The issue is if we kill Asteris first, Imbaran goes stronger. It's more difficult to deal with his madness.
And Barn only goes stronger if he's within proximity. You were not listening.
No, I understand, but if he's within proximity to the sphere, right, that he has, and Asteris is in proximity to the one that he has, then he goes stronger, correct?
Correct.
That's my understanding.
So you separate one before destroying them.
I agree.
And whatever remains, by the way, is excellent bait for the other. Yes?
Yes. I think that whichever we leave till last, we have less chance to deal with without killing them.
Well, then, as a gesture of good faith, one of you should come with me.
To
Help prepare the ritual. Clearly, it's going to be Teal or Cadavers. I know which one
Do
I
it.
prefer, but I'll leave it to you.
I think I should go with you.
I don't think you should go with him.
I'm sorry, there's sand involved, and if there's knuckle prints from all the dragging, it will ruin the ritual.
I know how to walk without dragging things.
Jesse, even from a purely practical point of view, you have nothing you can provide when it comes to creating this ritual.
What do you
or
mean?
fur-
I can carry heavy stuff.
Right, so can I, as an ape.
Uh,
I do not mean to gloat, but I could punch you into the sun as an ape.
do you want to have a fist fight?
As an ape?
Yeah.
Bust we?
I mean,
The dwarves won't appreciate this at all. Please
Jesse,
don't.
yes, but later.
okay.
Look,
Agree.
Jesse, I think it should be me or Tio.
I think it should be me.
Okay. Other than you, what do we as a party think regarding this?
I think you are more capable. I think that I am too easily swayed, confused, and compromised.
I also think if Celia still means you harm, you are safer with the entire party.
Oh my god, a point I don't have to make. Excellent, Cadavers, excellent.
How long do you need?
Agree.
As long as you can give me, but I will work with your time frame since you so
We can't give you an
Nicely
infinite amount
put
of
it.
time. Tell us how
Clearly.
long you feasibly need.
I need 4 days in my workshop with Cadavers as a token of goodwill. I don't need Cadavers there. You can leave me go and I will go do it. I just feel that you do not trust me because Jesse wants to come with me wherever I go.
There are still doubts, as I'm sure you understand.
You know, it's not unjustified. It's just inconvenient. So my actions are appropriate. Someone may come with me. I prefer not Jesse because Jesse will ruin everything. As
I
Jesse always
take
does.
offense to that because I'm a good
You
helper.
should. It's an offensive situation.
I'm a good helper. I pretty much do as I'm told.
You do
You
whatever
know,
you want. Let's not
You
pretend.
have food there at your ritual place. I
There's-
keep calm.
I find that almost impossible to leave.
I feel like we're getting distracted here.
I like distractions. I've told you many times. I like them. I think they're good.
Jesse, you're
I like
distracting me
doing 'em.
now.
I know.
Davros, I think it should be you to go. I can help you with not go, but I think that
I will go.
it is the wise choice.
So we go to my tower. You and I, Cadavros. The others can travel back to the mountain or find their way to Astris in whatever means that you may have withheld from me.
Okay.
Yeah?
Aurelia, please stop them from killing everything.
I'll do my best, but I am just one very small woman.
Tio, you have horns.
I still do, somehow, after all of this.
Hmm.
What about me?
Jesse, you're rootin' tootin'.
Now you get me.
All right.
Fist bump later.
I'm going to go ahead and award Beth an inspiration for Rootin' Tootin'. Because, wow.
The way you accented the T's was the best. Here in America, we just say rootin' tootin', but you went routine and tootin'.
So cadaver.
So, then, Megan says, shall we, I have a way back that's a lot quicker for us, cadavers.
Let us do so.
That is
Luck
whiskey,
again,
like.
I assume on the mountaintop, but wherever you go, cadavers, I'm assuming you have the means to confer with your people from over a great distance. Jordan used to
Don't
do that
call
for
us.
but
We'll call you.
You call me. You call me.
I will call you if you're in trouble. Probably
Call
every
you.
day.
Check in every day.
I will check in every day, twice a day.
I understand that your car insurance may be expiring, and who is this?
Man, they must have really a lot of spell slots to be sending that message over and over again. It's a 3rd level spell.
And with that, Cadavers, Maglin gestures, and you will start walking through the Dwarven city to a location of his choosing, where he may conduct something. What is the rest of the party doing?
And cadavers is shanked to death.
But
Oh gosh, this poor kid means. Right. We've just let a fifth of our party go.
So they're gone.
they are walking off. If you want some interaction, you're welcome to it. Otherwise, they are indeed gone.
Should I follow them?
So I didn't know how to bring it up without being really obvious, but this seems like a bad idea.
This
That's
actually,
why I wanted to go.
this actually
Yeah.
might be a good idea. I hate to broach this again with Cadaverous not here, but Imbaran has to be killed.
I think all wizards must die.
That is untrue. But I think in this case, we've already determined that Imbaran is
Compromised.
compromised and spiraling out of control. And from what it sounds like, Maglin overspeaks his abilities, and he sounded afraid and unconfident of being able to have anything to do with this.
Yes, and I mean, if he's only going to get more powerful, I mean, I guess there's the question of whether Maglin has something that's going to be able to effectively pull Imbarad out. So I think it's a question of whether we want to try and go in with the intention that if it doesn't work, that we're going to
He can be
engage in some
saved.
light murder, or whether we're just going to forego that entirely. I'm not sure if that's. I still think we should be trying to get in contact with the king. I think
The only
that
issue
the
is
king
that-
is relying on somebody right now who's the mage of the land who's gone insane and is trying to become, I mean, what, like an ascended wizard god?
Aurelia, unless you're heralding from some long line of secret nobility that you've never mentioned, I don't think any of us is going to get king. I mean,
Please zoom in on my face right there.
Jesse is the only actual citizen of Estad. I am from the wilds. Tio's from even further away than that. There's no way we are going to get an audience with the king.
Gislin, let her speak.
I might be able to get an audience with the king.
Really, the only issue with that is that I'm a criminal. I am a criminal wanted by the King's Guard from their
What
end.
are you talking about?
Everything we just mentioned, I have apparently delivered Arena's head to the Crimson Guard.
Well, we don't know whether the Crimson Guard has said anything about that to anybody else. It might just be like a Crimson Guard thing. We
Or
don't
they just
know.
could be lying. Like,
Or they could be lying. We don't know. We don't know.
I have.
Yes.
There is a way to do this. You could attempt to scry or send some sort of spell or something to Arena, and if lo and behold she's alive and this is a ruse, then we
I will do
are
that.
one message away from Cadaverous ripping Maglin's arms off as a giant ape.
do you
It's
really
true.
think he'd do it though?
Aurelia,
I feel like
Yes.
I
he
want to
wouldn't
hear
do it yet. Not
what you
yet.
have to say.
I was just. All I have to say is that I could maybe get us I could take steps that could probably maybe get us an audience with the king. That's it.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means that technically I've never actually told you my last name, is all. I have connections, or I used to have connections, and it's possible that people will still remember me and I might be able to leverage them.
Is it May? Are we related?
No, Jesse, we're not related.
Well, I'm out of guesses. Does somebody else's turn to guess? That's what we're playing, the guessing game.
We are,
But-
and I don't like it.
It's complicated, and I don't think I technically have a title anymore, but I was the heir to the Samari family. And now I'm
I look
not.
at Tio like,
He has a very soft expression on his face.
it's
I look at Jesse,
complicated.
I'm like,
I've never heard of a scimitar family.
Look, I don't want to get into a whole sob story. I'm just saying that it was my father was important. My father was landed nobility, and I could probably, there's enough people that remember him and that might remember me that I might be able to, that the name might still mean something if I took it up again.
Did he die?
Yes, Jesse, he died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Is that why you don't use that name?
I don't use that name for a lot of reasons, okay? It's not, like I said, I don't have the land anymore. I don't have the title. It's, my uncle took it all. It doesn't, look, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that I can be useful. I can make it useful. That's all. I can make it useful, and we might be able to get in without having to go and do it through Maglin and let him have the advantage there, that I can make it useful. That's all.
what are you gonna say to the king?
Well, we can workshop that. I don't know that your wizard's mad.
And we're gonna go kill him.
I don't think I workshop it a little.
We're gonna solve the problems of the kingdom. I got it. Nailed it. First try.
I mean, honestly, Jesse makes a pretty decent argument.
Have we got a deal for you?
It is.
Act
You're
now.
not gonna believe what happens next.
For only $19.95.
Times 1,000.
So,
Also flex tape.
We go.
Throw it in there. Some ShamWow.
We go somehow convince the king that we need a opportunity to subdue Imbaran.
Without any repercussions. I like it.
And by subdue, I mean not kill Jesse.
Oh.
And pray that by that time, by pray I mean you, Tio, that Cadaverous isn't dead, and somehow Maglin has overcome his own hubris to figure out a way to help someone else. And
Doubtful.
in that moment, in which we have theoretically subdued one of the most powerful wizards in the land, they cure him of his madness, and we likely then have to fight Asteris while keeping him separate from Imbaran.
I didn't say it was a good plan.
It does seem like a bit of an impossible task.
But I mean, what's our alternative here?
Well, we've defeated two of these without but more of a trifle to our abilities.
Sure, but each of those was a quarter as powerful as... Because they were each only one, and now Asteris and Imbaran are at least 2 or 3.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. We freed the soul of an ancient dragon from the depths of hell. A couple of fragments of a wizard don't scare me.
Dwarf goes by. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did that. That was you.
I'm not debating our ability to do it. I'm saying I wasn't even the one who brought up going to the king originally. That was something that Cadaverous brought up, that Maglin said that he could get an interview, audience is the word I'm looking for, with the king. I'm just, if we're going to pursue that route, I have an alternate way to do it that doesn't involve asking the person who we know wants to betray us to do it.
Right. I think my only point of hesitation on that is that I have potentially criminal status, which may interfere with a lot of things.
I mean, we can always feel out and figure out exactly how much criminal status, because I mean, all of you except for me also did commit theft on the highway.
This is true.
It's unprovable.
That
I
is
was
Called
not
highway
involved.
robbery. It's called highway robbery.
We don't have those positions anymore, so they cannot blame it on
They
us.
were stolen from us. This
It's like-
we didn't do.
undone. It didn't happen. It's been undone.
Is there any way we can find the bag of holding? Perhaps perhaps the king can let us at least search through Imbaran's things to find that, but as he said, if he has the gem. Other thing is we could head off in a completely different direction and find out what this other force is that's working with your wife.
I have a feeling it's Imbaran or Asteris in some way. Maybe even Maglin.
Maybe it's time that we sat down and talked to Asteris.
In what manner?
But using our voices.
We go speak to him?
Well, I don't know where he is, but we have something
Well,
of his.
I don't know if we're on speaking terms. That little stunt I pulled.
We freed him from hell. I think that at least gives us a few moments of cordial conversation.
Just to clarify, you mean in the same room or place?
I mean, I guess you could just talk into his head.
I don't have his staff. I left it on the mountain.
What? Why'd you do that?
Wait, what?
I put it down. I said it because he was going to scry on us.
Where is it?
It's in the same spot as it was, like when we.
You remember before this snowstorm?
Unless
when
I
you could
said,
see it?
unless I said
It's gone.
something. No, unless this is something different. I honestly can't remember what I said.
It does make sense.
That you can't remember.
Although, I don't think you can scry on an object.
There was a just Michaela
You
metagaming.
can.
There was
You
a
can, because
conversation
that's-
we had where I said I said that, and then someone said that you can't scry on an object, and I don't remember what happened after that. Does anyone else?
Because
remember?
having that object makes it easier for us to scry on him.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's a location you can do, not an object.
Well, without necessarily remembering the madness of every moment of every session, I'm going to go ahead and say that TOA, upon inspection, you are in possession of his staff still.
I apparently kept it. I must have had a momentary lapse of reason.
Because the logical conclusion is this does not let him look in, but it does help you look out.
I mean,
So I'll assume for once that logic prevailed, and that's what you did.
Over my insanity.
we could tell him that we don't know where he is right now, aside from holed up in a coffin during the day. If we agree to meet with him, then we'll at least know where he is, in general terms. We can say that we were wanting to sort out how the orb worked, and in doing so, perhaps reached a bit beyond our means. We can give the staff back as a gesture of goodwill.
I'm sorry, Gislin. I don't like to provide counterpoints to everything, but I think that
But
confronting him
that's attempting to,
is probably the worst course of action that we could take, especially missing someone from our party. I think it is a not stupid. It's just extremely risky, and I do not have the right frame of mind to negotiate with a creature such as this.
But if we lure him away from whatever object Imbaran is using to get near him and kill him, Imbaran is our only problem now, and he has not absorbed the power because he hasn't had proximity. So if we lure him out and kill him, Imbaran is no better off, no more insane, and then we have all the time we need for Cadaverous to work whatever magic he's doing. Assuming that Cadaverous isn't in absolutely grave danger. Because if he is, he's on his own if they've teleported to the city. It will take us weeks to get there. There's nothing we can do for Cadaverous at this point.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I'm sorry.
But what we can do is buy them time, and that's the only thing I can think of that will buy them the most time, is if we can stave off any attack from Asteris, and also in doing so, prevent that from helping Imbaran in any way. His condition, as far as I understand it, can't change unless he's absorbing more whatever wizard death juice. So we try to, even if we have to drag kicking and screaming out, away from whatever object it is. I don't think we're going to lie our way in there, but that to me seems like the most tractable way to buy them time. If we head to the capital, our other play is somehow convince the king to unlock the doors to Imbaran's place. We root around, find that he's already gone through the bag of holding and taken what he's needed. We get some money back. But then we're there. Imbaran is there. He knows we're there. His next question will be, well, where is Cadaverous, and why can't I look at Cadaverous anymore?
Honestly, I'm inclined to agree with Gislin.
When in doubt, that's what I do.
And it's served you well so far.
It sure has.
I mean, what does Cadaverous bring to the table in a fight anyway? I mean,
Monkey.
50 points of damage. With one spell.
I mean,
Destruction.
I think.
And
Gislin,
a giant ape.
I think you're right.
He also
Griffin.
shouts
Suggestion
out
spells,
random words
counter
and
spells. It's a
it
What
griffin.
does
fires
Cadaverous
me.
bring to the table?
If he had not been there, we would have died in that lava pool at the bottom of hell when we were trying to get out of it. Everyone would have died. It would have been everyone except for Gislin. And then
Well,
Gislin
look,
would have had to
guys.
deal with that sentry. And then Gislin, I think that
We
despite my
appreciate
misgivings,
Cadaverous.
I think that you're
You
right.
can't say that in the same sentence as what everything else you just said.
I do not have the mind of a strategist, so I'm going to agree with you. I think
our strength is that we never have a strategy, and those who try as they may to figure out how to counterplay against us are woefully disappointed when they realize that exerted mental energy has been totally wasted.
I do think it might be wise to message or sending to Asteris or to Arena or to Rosa.
I think you
And
should check to
see
see
if
if
we
the
can-
person that you supposedly killed is actually dead. Because if she isn't, then we need to go get Cadaverous back, or at least warn him that he should turn into an ape and rip Maglin's arms off. And then kick him to death.
And his tongue. Take his tongue.
Thank you, Casey.
We'll
If he has
eventually
no
run out of
tongue-
words, but I think we can shorten this down to include everybody's comments.
Yeah.
I'm going to sending Arena, and I'm going to ask.
Account as well on your character sheet for the spell usage.
Creature you are familiar.
This feels immensely disrespectful, but if you are still with us in this realm of existence,
So, could you give me a percentage roll? Just
I
offhand?
can. Come on, Tio.
Oh, I thought it was a 4.
Oh
Okay.
gosh.
I was like, so
Twice in a row.
the spending cell. Wait. Sending spell. Fails.
Okay. I believe she's dead.
Which I really shouldn't say because it's not a detect if someone's alive spell. I'm going to go ahead and allow for it because
What
it's
is
interesting.
you send a short message to a creature which you are. If something dies, it doesn't stop being a creature, I guess.
I suppose even if it says you send, which means it's just like clicking send, it's gone. You don't know where it goes. You're hoping it gets to the creature.
I guess
should-
then. what would
But
you
I'm going to
describe
go
as
ahead and
my
I'm not going to
response?
retroact. The spell
Okay.
has failed. You are sure Arena is not available to receive your call.
Okay. I
Ow,
think.
ow, that's your claw. Okay, I'm
Is
going to
it
put my
my
arms up
claw?
here. Arms up here. My
I-
head's gone, but my arms are safe. Oh, now you're
Can't-
not interested. Get out.
She's saying things, but I think they're from the
Nope.
spirit realm.
She's going for the other arm.
Okay. The spell has failed, and I think that means that she is passed. Oh, a little kitten sound. That was cute.
She's not a little kitten. She's the exact opposite. She's as old as it gets, cat. She'll be turning 19 this year. Or are you 19 now?
That's older than you, Caleb.
Wow.
She is.
Yeah.
She's 2002. She's older than 2.
I'm
Anyway.
only 5 years older than that.
So, all of that being said, is there something else you would like to do spell-wise?
I went to
Or-
sending Rosa too.
Who's
I'm
Rosa?
gonna
My wife.
please account for the spell.
Who is that? Okay.
Who's that girl? It's Rosa.
I would like you to roll percentage.
Eventually, you'll have to get a message through. Tio has a future in telemarketing.
Now, please, just for continuity's sake, as we're about to end our session, please type out the message you send to your wife.
Hey, boo, just checking in. Did you, kill somebody?
Are you up?
Didn't say it was
Are
me.
you up? How you doing?
What you wearing?
Found your clothing. You must be naked.
How is hell?
You must be naked.
Ow, ow, that's my shoulder. Yeah, right through the fabric. Fabric's not armor.
That is a good observation, Timur.
Yeah, my cat verifies constantly. She's actually laying on me right now. I can't actually. No, that's it. She's all sprawled out and just.
She seems cuddly tonight.
She's super cuddly right now, which means something terrible has occurred in my kitchen.
It's like radioactive
like,
waste somewhere on the ground.
Like more like, oh, I didn't mean to finally get into the fridge I've been trying to get into for years, and I didn't mean to pull out all of your food and put it on the ground, but she did mean it. She did. Something bad. I'm gonna find a little present somewhere.
So we all wait on bated breath for the message.
Well,
TOA is
as
typing.
we wait for TOA's typing, Cadavers, as you walk through the dwarven city, you come to a small, humble house. It is a 2-story house. It does have a slight courtyard, and he says, "This is Jardine's home. Jardine isn't using it, and I find it to be an excellent." What?
Am I about to get arraigned? Am I about to get jumped by the squad in their ends?
Jardine isn't using it. I find it to be an excellent way to conduct some spells outside the eyes of the public. So please, I happen to know one of the people who open and close doors and also food service, a little bit of, I don't know what else they do. Dwarf things.
Wonderful. I trust you implicitly.
Excellent, because you should. I'm great. He brings you into the house. One of the dwarven servants does greet you. He doesn't actually look like a servant. He looks like somebody who might also live there, but clearly it's Jardine's home, so he's like a tenant or something. And it's like shows you to a small study. There's lots of iconography of the god Ula here, who is a god of hills and whatnot. Some dwarves, many dwarves, worship Ula, but usually not deep mountain dwarves. So a little strange to see slightly here, but not out of the question. And Maglin unceremoniously clears out a whole large area, and moves a carpet away, and he brings out a bag of stuff, and he starts constructing a magical circle. And he's like, yes. So I cannot connect to the teleportation circle in the tower from Imbaran, but maybe, just maybe, I can connect to one in my own home. So we shall go. And if you don't trust me, you can go first. Or if you don't trust me, I could go first. I'll leave it to you to decide. And he does indeed complete a magical circle. If you'd like, you can roll Arcane.
I will roll Arcane.
I go straight to hell.
So I can clearly not choose the vial in front of me.
Why is there 3 dice? What is on my screen? 6 and 7. You're like, magic circle. And
Why, that certainly is circular.
and he looks up at you and says, now clearly I'll have to cast the spell. I can cast it for me. It might be problematic for you if you stay here. Do you want to go first?
I will go first.
Excellent. And he begins casting the spell, and the circle does the glowy thing, and he's like, please step in.
I step in.
Okay. And that is where we'll end tonight.
Unbelievable.
You're the worst.
Thank you all for watching. And oh my god,
Choices were made.
I love. You're like, will Imbaran betray us? I'm gonna go with him. I'm just gonna go with him.
So my reasoning was that him betraying us could be anything big or small.
It also doesn't give a time frame.
I'm surprised Beth's big brain fits through the teleportation circle.
Well,
I'm Casey, thinking hard. I just kill bad guy. Meh, arrow, arrow.
whoa! Save golden content like that for next week.
Your pirate ship's gonna tear apart.
Oh, also, you guys, I'm gonna be gone, so you guys, I'm just gonna bring you to this fight that you're like, we're not prepared for, and then I won't be here for 3 weeks.
Wait, what?
Look.
I'm not gonna be here all of May, so
I remember
I'm
when
just
I was.
teeing it up for you.
I remember before I was even 10 years old, I had grasped this concept where you do not split the party. But now that I'm an old person, you do not split the party. And here we are. So
We do it all the
fantastic things
time.
await.
Yeah.
Who knows what's on the other side of the portal?
I-
Is it indeed where you think it's going to? And oh, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and respond to this note that you've had to your wife. It's the first contact. You had this big, like, moral dilemma the last
Yeah.
time someone said you could just send
Uh-huh.
it. And now you're like, yeah, I sent my wife.
Okay,
Like,
I've already had the
just
moral dilemma out
capriciously-
loud, so that means
You have?
it's
You
not
have?
capricious.
I like,
I've been
I
thinking
like
about
how
it.
hard you guys are trying not
Capricious
to be
Sun?
manipulated by Imbaran and Maglin, and then Casey just manipulates you like that.
Look, you and Casey have very strong personalities, and I don't know who to side with when you guys are arguing. So I try to pick whoever
Whoever
talking the
talks to you
loudest.
That is what I like to call the bobblehead agreement. If the bobblehead sees the last person
Put up
talking,
a
he's
fight
nodding.
sometimes, and other times, the consequences of you
You
putting
know
up a
what?
fight are
You guys have fun. Me, Macklin, and Imbaran, we're gonna just chill.
You're
you
gonna
become one
have
one
your
lich.
bromance menage a trois wizard thing.
Exactly. Just a bunch of old dudes with books
bunch of
and shit.
feathers, and toads.
Fine.
Wrong with toads.
Smells like dead
Well,
skin.
Wait, was there a
Um,
response? No.
There will be a
Oh, yeah.
response, and I will type it out, but not this. Matter of fact, I may type it out after the game is over and we've disconnected, so you guys have a week to process it, but that the players, or the watchers, I should say, can come back and discover it and move from there,
Does the,
because it'll be nice and fresh.
Wait, hold on.
I'm gonna
Since
lose
it's
my
not-
mind.
This
I'm married
is.
to a real person and this fictional spouse. I feel like it's like that kind of same like.
I'm
level
gonna
of
post
excitement.
Tio's message because they can't see it, so I will post it in the.
Oh, they can't see it. I always thought you had that
in
up.
the chat. Well, no, this one doesn't have like when it's the battle map, it does, but we're on
Rose is about
the
to message
RP
me
thing.
back. I'm so nervous.
Roll a Slant presents TOA's response, or contact to his wife, or waifu, as that's now canon.
No, that is not. What,
Not
no,
canon,
that was
not
not
canon.
said at any point. Word was avoided, actually.
Hey,
Just
boo.
ooh woo.
Ooh, woo. Dire trouble. Accused of killing druid. How are you? No, it's good. I want her.
WYD.
I want her to be like, yes, the bloodlust is insatiable. Join me in the destruction of the world. Tiamat for life.
Love
But
you.
somehow, like, it's
Tiamat for- Love you.
Love you. Okay, bye.
Alexa.
So, all of that being said, thank you all. Thank you, Roll a Slant, for the folks that are playing it. Thank you, Roll20, for the VTT. Thank you, Kevin McLeod.
Okay, back
Now,
on the attack.
I was looking around different maps because I get to do that as DM, but from what I understand, only one Controlled by Chaos song was
I
played.
don't think
the
it
entire
ever
time.
made it to the
I don't.
audio.
I don't
of the
know what.
stream.
Yeah, it may not have met it. Then I'll just let Casey always thank Kev, even
Okay.
though I
We-
feel
but
more
Kevin, we
connected.
do appreciate you.
There
We
we go.
really appreciate
If you
you.
ever want to come on and play, the role of Tio's wife is still open.
We are looking.
We are looking.
There's
to
an
cast.
opening in the Crimson
Op-
Guard as well.
Open casting call for Tio's wife. Auditioning people named Kevin.
Fantastic.
Must be beautiful and bloodthirsty.
I mean, I've seen pictures.
And naked.
All of the
Yes.
above. Where do you think the music comes from?
Oh.
From bloodthirst.
It's bloodlusting music.
Oh my gosh.
I think of beautiful music as I murder and
Yeah.
well, anyway. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. See you next week.
Monday, yeah.
Also, check out Monday. Also, check out Wednesday. Also, check out Thursday. And other days of the week when you're not thinking about us, go to our YouTube and our website.
Check this out.
Think about us some more.
And then tune in next week
obsessed.
on definitely on Thursday just to see what TOA's wife's response is. Rosa will be responding, and the players may have a whole week to mull it over, but do take a look. It might be worth your word, but yeah. So that's all I have to say.